We bought an ovipositor.
Ovipositor?
A what? Oh, you guys don't know ovipositors, eh? It's like an alien wiener, but it has egg inserts, so you can push like a lubed egg through. So when you insert it, you can put eggs into yourself.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm your host, Joey, and I'm with the boys as per usual. And we're kind of doing one on the road right now. We're currently on tour.
Not really planned.
No.
I've winged it.
Yeah, but this is a very special episode because of this guy next to me. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name's Charlie Big Moist.
They know you. They know you.
The man who thinks JoJo's part 3 and 4 are bad.
Oh, we're getting right into it already.
It's been 2 years of like arguments in the shower with myself. How I would defend my point should I ever get the chance. So this is great for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember, if you don't know the context, I believe 2 years ago you posted a video talking about toxic Final Fantasy fans to do with Donkey's video, I believe.
Which was valid.
Which was valid. Mm-hmm. And then on the off cuff, you mentioned JoJo. And I'm like, great, he has a point. JoJo fans are also toxic. But then on top of that, I think you mentioned that you prefer part 1 and part 2 to part 3 and part 4.
You're goddamn right. And I haven't wavered.
And we had to fly like halfway across the world just to say, I heard you were talking shit, Charlie.
That was so weird. I've never ever had that thing of like, yo, what? Like someone said an opinion and I like hit the space bar like, what? Because there's just no one has ever said that opinion.
I know.
So do you want to defend yourself now that you're here?
Yeah. So I'd like to explain.
Okay.
I hate part 4. The only part of part 4
Wait,
I like.
hate's a strong word.
So I'm not a slice of life guy.
Did you watch all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like parts 1, 2, and 5. I love part 5 as well.
Okay.
So part 5 slaps. This opinion predated part 5 coming out.
Yeah.
But part 4, it's my least favorite genre of all slice of life. It was like all slice of life until Kira, and then it was good.
Right.
Yeah.
So it finishes strong, and I hated everything before it.
Okay, I can kind of respect that because I think here's the dichotomy, right? Because I agree with you that the beginning of part 4, I'm also not a slice of life fan. So
it's slow. It's
very slow. But I think the best JoJo has been so far, anime wise, is like the second part of part 4. Because when Kira gets introduced, it's so
Kira is
fucking
great.
good.
I agree. I like Kira a lot, but I don't think he saved.
And it wasn't enough to like.
It didn't save it because I was so fucking bored of seeing them just like walk around the city like the manga artist and drawing shit. It was so boring. It was so boring.
The self-insert.
Oh yeah, I couldn't stand it.
Okay, so what didn't you like about part 3? Just so I can kind of get the...
Part 3, I didn't hate nearly as much as part 4. I actually liked all the characters. I just thought there was a lot of times where it just became the same formula.
It was very long.
It was very much
and
like
it dragged so much.
Yeah, it was very much like a monster of the week type of thing. Yeah, which I think a lot of JoJo fans also weren't a huge fan of.
Yeah.
But
See, that's not the thing that like surprised me. But like you say, you prefer part 1 over.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
That was the opinion, right? That's
what I want to know.
I totally agree with these takes, but it was just like then you say, oh yeah, part 1's better.
So we all watch part 1, but like, please sell us on part 1.
So part 1 is like your classic, like growing up nostalgic anime, right? You have your dumb Hamon, which is fine and cool. It's what you're used to.
Yeah.
It's not trying to do anything different, but the style is great. I think JoJo's style's always been really good.
Yeah.
And I think it works well with Hamon. I love when they introduce Dio. He comes out of the gate like this fucking menace, like he's ripping heads off and shit. Like he's cool. And it's short. It's not long. So you get like a very tight burst of like what you're expecting.
Right.
So I wasn't, like offended. I enjoyed it.
Don't you think though, like part 1 was just like a little bit too like shaky in a lot of ways?
There was even like the parts from like episode like 3 to 5 that were just like,
because I feel like part 1 is like Araki, I feel, didn't quite know where he wanted to take JoJo.
Punched a frog, had wine, and then was like, I guess we'll resurrect.
It's like that's all cool and all, but it's like it didn't really like flow as a story in my opinion.
I agree, and it definitely wasn't. The narrative wasn't like the strong part of part 1. But I just really enjoyed that it was pretty unashamedly anime tropey.
Yeah.
Like it had pretty much every anime cliche for its time.
You've definitely practiced this argument.
I have legitimately gone over every.
You explained yourself pretty well there. I just even with that in mind, I just can't. The last part of part 4 was so strong that I don't think I could even. I think part 4 is better than 3. 2, 1, and 5.
Can we all agree part 2 fucking slaps though?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I think part 2 is like, I wish part 2 was part 1. So because then that would be the introduction. Because part 1 sometimes puts people off because it's really odd and didn't quite hit the feel for the. Well, you know, part 2 he kind of figures out what he wants to do with JoJo, and he kind of gets more campy with it, and he gets more fun, and he lets the characters be weird. Whereas part 1 he's kind of still sticking to traditional character archetypes, except for Dio, who's just weird. Yeah. And Dio has always been really weird. I guess that's why he's reused him like 19 times.
Because I think what really sold me on JoJo in general was actually when part 2 started. Because I saw part 1 and I just thought Jonathan was like a really, really boring main character. And I thought, is all of JoJo going to be like this? And then you see Joseph and you're like, holy shit. This is so much fun now. Oh my God.
The bit with the Tommy gun, when he whips the Tommy gun, I'm like, this is not going to be a normal show.
This is going to be special. When he was doing the training and climbing up that fucking pillar, I don't know, everything about that was so like, it was just unreasonably hype for something kind of like small.
And just the weird insert of him just staring at his mom in the bath. And it's like, why would this be like this does not fit thematically with anything that has happened in this show.
For me it was like right at the very, very, very beginning, like chapter 1 of part 2, where like he takes the Coke bottle. The Coke bottle like fizz. That's immediately I was just like, like, racism is no more thanks to the hormone.
It's just like, oh my God.
Okay, but real question though, now that we've like kind of all caught up and you know, you obviously watched part 5, right?
Yep.
Have you watched part 6?
I've started it and then I haven't watched the second part of part 6 because the Netflix releases.
Oh yeah.
It's still hometown.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Part 6, I think so. Everything I've seen so far is good.
Yeah, part 6 is fantastic.
Where would you put part 5 then in the hierarchy?
Part 5 would be right behind part 2, but just barely.
Better than 1, 2, and 3, 4.
So it'd be 2, 5.
Yeah, 2, 5. I haven't finished 6, so I can't scale that yet. But 6 is better than 1, 3, and 4 so far.
For me, the only thing that really holds back 5 is Giorno. He's kind of boring.
I didn't think so. I thought he was
so. No,
I thought Giorno was
I feel
fun.
like every other character is more interesting than Giorno.
I mean, the side characters definitely.
Like Bucciarati is the main character that should have been. Bucciarati is like carries the whole thing, and then even the other boys are a bit more. You know, it feels like he's kind of more Jonathan-esque. With like he had a bit more character in the start, where he was kind of more conniving, and then he kind of drops it real quick when Bucciarati turns up.
I feel though that's like a very common trait with JoJo, because like even in part 1, like Zeppeli is way more interesting of a character than John.
He's a great
Zeppeli's fucking hilarious.
Zeppeli's amazing.
See, I hold that opinion for part 3 because I thought Jotaro is a bit more of like the more cleaner JoJo's, you know.
Dude bro.
Yeah, just the dude bro can do everything perfectly, but like the entire crew of part 3 is what sells it for me. It's like the ensemble.
No, I agree.
I hated Polnareff the first time I watched it.
I wasn't a fan. Kakyoin carried it for me.
Of course. Really? I loved Polnareff right from
See, I know people love him, and it was the kind of fun afterwards where I'm like, I think I like it looking back, but if I watched it again, I think I would be like, no.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Part 3 is long.
It is.
It's way too long.
Way too long.
Shit.
I'm constantly impressed with the sheer amount of stuff you watch.
I watch pretty much everything.
How do you? Okay, it blows my mind. Your schedule must be stupid. Like, how do you watch all this? And then you review every movie that I swear that comes out, and then you're uploading twice a day. You're streaming all day. Are you like on second monitor while streaming? You watching shit?
No, man. I don't know. I just find like there's. I stay up late, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every night, and I have been since like college. But I've always found like there's always enough time, as long as you're having fun. Like, time moves, for me, like time moves slower when I'm having fun, so I feel like I have more time to do shit.
Yeah, because I swear to God, you watch more anime than like most of us. Also,
you review more anime than any anime YouTuber.
You're definitely running like anime YouTube out of business.
Because you're doing that on top of everything else you're doing. Like, I would like to know your secret, because I've been watching like doing anime as a job for like fucking 5 years now, and I'm like struggling at this point because there's just so much shit.
It's all coming out at once too, which is a little rough because you're having like it's all coming from different places. Like Netflix has JoJo's Part 6, and they've got a terrible release schedule. And then it overlaps with other shit that is coming out seasonally. So it's, I don't know, it gets convoluted.
But because you like review so many different pieces of media, I got to ask, how does anime fans rank in terms of like toxicity compared to like gaming, movies, TV shows? I've always wanted to know.
They'd be at the bottom.
Oh, really?
Really?
Anime fans, even when I have a take they don't like, even JoJo's, it's like a couple jokes, We're gonna reopen an old wound. I didn't mind the newest Terminator, the one where they just like killed John Connor off.
Right.
Because like it was just fun, goofy action. It's like, hey, John Connor like absolutely fucking sucked in Genesis, trash in Salvation, Terminator 3 bad. I'm fine killing him off. I got so many Reddit threads and tweets about how fucking wrong I was. Even with JoJo's, no one's doing that.
I didn't even know people watched the new Terminator movies. I thought it was just like some kind of tax laundering
No
thing.
one does. Like they're bad. Like they've been bad for a while. But the new one, I think it's Dark Fate or
The
something.
one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like has a brief appearance.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still making them.
It looked dreadful.
It looked terrible. I went to see it because I thought it would be bad. Because Genesis was an unwatchable dog shit mess. It was terrible. But I went to see it and I was like, I don't mind it. It's nothing but this new Terminator, this lady killing, the basically same Terminator from Terminator 2. It was fun.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the gaming fans are the most toxic.
No, it's absolutely the movie fans.
think
Movie and
so?
TV shows. Gaming's rough, but movie and TV shows, they get rabid.
So was the Terminator thing the worst thing that ever happened?
Terminator was bad. There was an entire YouTube channel that did a 2-hour podcast dissecting how wrong I was about it. They were livid.
We should make this 2-hour podcast dissecting their podcast. Just to spite them.
They were so mad, it was wild. No one else has done that anywhere for gaming, for anime, anything. It is absolutely TV and movies. They're the most rabid.
That's so weird to hear because, I see some of the shit like, Donkey gets when he basically reviews a JRPG and I'm like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with those.
It must be just like something with Donkey. They don't like him in particular. His takes are spicy on JRPGs for sure, but like, I mean, I have spicy takes on gaming too. Like Red Dead Redemption, I think is a bit overrated.
First or second or both?
Second one, Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, I think it's a bit overrated. It's a great game, but the gameplay's dated. It's needlessly tedious. Like, it's a great game, but I think it is a little
I can hear the
overhyped.
Reddit threads already.
People get like mad for a minute, but then they're like, whatever. I still like the game.
Yeah.
They don't do that for movies and TV. They don't. It's like, if you don't like it, you're fucked up, and here's why.
See, because I feel coming from like the inside the anime community, I feel that's what the anime community is like to us, where it's like you say one opinion and they will hold on to that shit for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And they will never let you go for it. Right?
I mean, it depends on the anime because JoJo, we are like, JoJo fans are very, very loud.
Yes.
I feel like...
I think they have a sense of humor though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Self-aware.
They know they're annoying.
I mean, it's JoJo. Of course you guys are self-aware. You watch JoJo, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But like, I feel like, especially with, like, I've seen way more toxicity in some of like the more mainstream anime, like Attack on Titan fans. They used to be like really chill. And then ever since like season 3, season 4.
And then it got mainstream.
Yeah, basically, right? When it got like super, super popular.
Yeah.
That's when I saw like the toxicity just like fucking skyrocket. Yeah, I don't know. It's super weird. And I'm not sure what like gaming fans are like as well.
Does toxicity perhaps have to correlate with how mainstream something is?
That was profound. Okay.
The more mainstream something is, the more toxic the fan
Well,
base is.
yeah, I mean, but then I feel like a lot of people just then, it gets to that, it becomes so meta, right, where then people make a whole big deal about complaining about this tiny group of people, but then they're just the bigger group of the ones complaining about the annoying, toxic fan.
true.
And then it becomes this whole fulfilling prophecy kind of bullshit where it's you just, Rick and Morty fans were a little bit annoying, but they weren't that bad like everyone made them out to be. It was like one Reddit post and they ran with, I don't know why I wrote this. They like ruined Rick and Morty. You can't say you watch Rick and Morty now, otherwise you're like, oh, okay, that's so funny. It's like
Your IQ's not high enough.
Yeah.
I thought the new season was okay. I thought it's been fine. It's been watchable.
It's been okay. It's been okay.
It's fine. It's good. It's better than The Simpsons. Like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah. Do you have any other like hot anime takes then that has got?
Let's bring them all out while we're here.
Yeah, so since we're going down the hot anime takes, why not give like probably the hottest? I hated One Piece for the first, at least the first 80, 90 episodes.
Okay. Big mistake. First of all, you're watching the anime.
Yep, I've heard.
Second of
So
all,
does it get good?
So I finished Alabasta. I'm at Skypiea now. It's much better. Like, it's definitely improving.
Where am I at?
You're before Alabasta.
I'm right before.
Alabasta.
I'm reading the manga.
Okay.
Did you like Alabasta?
Alabasta was much better.
Okay.
That was the first time I was like, this is much better.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and explain this.
Go on.
I absolutely hate that they don't kill any characters. I think that is so silly. Like, Pell takes a bomb up into the How far are you in Alabasta?
You can say
He hasn't started.
Yeah, he hasn't started it. Okay.
You can say there's been like moments where I'm like, okay, like there was I can't remember. It was the arc before. It was when they were on the giant island.
Whiskey Peak.
Yeah, and there was this whole like it was the. I was been reading the manga and I hadn't really got bored with any of it. I was kind of like I was like, okay, I know it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
But there was one fight where I was like, yeah, this feels really dated, and like it made it feel really old when they were like fighting with the wax thing. And it was this whole,
Little Garden.
It was a whole thing where they were just stuck in wax, and it was just like, what is this fight? This is shit.
Well, I mean, you also have to understand it's a 20-year-old fight.
No, right. It's like you read One Piece and it feels old. Like it feels like a dated manga because you could never have a manga this slow paced.
Yeah.
Like come out today.
Well, that's why I'm surprised you're actually watching it, because as a One Piece fan, even I wouldn't like advocate for watching One Piece anymore. It's the anime is so old now and so like slow paced. It's back in the day when it was like acceptable just to have like filler everywhere to just drag things on for as long as possible.
Well, yeah, because there was only like maybe 20 new series per year that came out back then, so people were like more, I guess, like patient towards like slower pace. I mean, like fucking older, like first or second season of Dragon Ball episodes.
Yeah, they're unwatchable.
My God, they're unwatchable. They're so incredibly slow. It's insane. Like I can't imagine me being like 5 years old being like, this is the most high octane shit ever. And you watch it now, it's just like two big bros just standing there staring at each other for 20 minutes. It's like nothing's fucking happening.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the reason why people would get angry at you for that take is because I think One Piece fans who've got so far, it's like looking at this child.
They look at rose-tinted glasses and like, I loved it as a kid. How can you not like it?
And you're like, I love this thing so much now that there's no way the start could have been bad. Right? Because it's like, because people who like One Piece really, really like One Piece, and it's like their identity, and it's everything they're obsessed with. I mean, the fact that there are like 20 plus channels that can make a living off just talking about One Piece, like name another property where you can have that. Like
Naruto.
No, there's like 2 channels. Bleach. There's like 10. Bleach. There's like okay, I'm dialing it back. There are a lot of channels who just cover the manga. Or talk about the show or fan theories who only do that and can make a living. And there's room for more than like 10. It's crazy. Like no other anime you can do that. Or maybe video game you can actually. That's fine. League of Legends or some shit.
Of course, I mean, there are some video games.
But it's
there are some video games that are just like
they have pro scenes as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the One Piece I feel though is on
fucking
just a completely
go bro.
Go
bro.
I feel that One Piece is just like now on a completely different caliber. That like it's very difficult to like compare it to other manga series out there.
It's probably sold more copies than the Bible in Japan. Like I mean, obviously it has.
I think it's like being close, if not already, the top selling like comic. Period.
Yeah,
like,
ever.
Like beating out like even like Batman and Superman, I think, which is
insane
to think about. That it's fucking One Piece, you think about how iconic Batman and Superman is, and like in terms of like volume sold, One Piece is getting up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like the fan base are very, very dedicated.
They're very passionate. Yeah.
They're very.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You don't read 1,000 volumes and not see it as part of your identity.
That's
unfortunately,
true,
yeah. But I'm excited to see what you think of like future arcs, though.
I know where it goes because my girlfriend, she binged all of it. She's caught up to like 1,000 something.
Yeah.
So I know where it goes, and I really like where it goes. But the journey to get there is fucking miserable.
Oh yeah.
I'm really knowing your JoJo takes now. I'm like fully expecting you to just have the hottest One Piece takes when you like caught up. Being like, I thought Sky Island was the best arc. Water 7 was kind of shit. Yeah.
I do agree that it does feel like the characters are a bit invincible, at least in the start.
Not only that though, I feel like they're not changing. Like Luffy's exactly the same right now where I am as he is in the beginning.
That's what I said, but apparently everyone keeps saying change.
I believe you. It has been improving.
Yeah.
I still don't like that no one dies. Like even I know like 4 major character deaths. I won't spoil anything. But like you're past Arlong.
But it took like 1,000 chapters to kill.
Exactly. Like Arlong doesn't die. Like Arlong's this terrible, horrible man. He gets defeated by an axe kick, never to be seen again. They talk about him like once or something later on. It's just
that was weird because like I remember reading that part and I thought, oh, he's gonna just pop back up because it didn't really feel like he was gone.
Yeah.
And then it just ended, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, he didn't die. He was incapacitated.
Yeah.
Was
They did the same to Don
fainted?
Freeze.
Like what? Yeah, go on.
To counter it though, because since I've been a One Piece fan for a long time, I remember having the same criticisms about One Piece, being like, no one seems to die. Why? There are many opportunities for like a character to die, and then it just felt like he was never going to kill anyone off. And then when you get some of the first major deaths, you realize, oh, he's been saving it for like this moment because those moments like are fucking iconic in like anime and manga now. And I think
I agree, because I feel if you have a manga that's going on for that long, especially, and you've just been constantly killing off characters, after the 20th death, you're just gonna be like, yeah, all right, what's the bet? He's probably gonna die again. So I feel it gets overdone.
Just thinking that you could make the most iconic character death, but it still won't be more iconic than the Tokyo Ghoul fucking panel. With him fucking doing the head tilt, the one where he's like you know this. No, you know.
I don't think so.
Yes, you do.
I only watched Tokyo Ghoul 1 and 2.
Oh no, it's in
the manga.
It's in the manga. It's that one. It's
that one. That's always on Twitter.
Literally was never left Twitter.
Like literally the most iconic manga panel ever.
It's so fucking.
It was so weird because I finally got the context of that for the first time.
And it's a really serious.
It's a really, really serious scene, but I could not take it seriously anymore because it's just been. I've just seen it so many times.
It's like when you watch that movie that you only know for the memes, and then you actually watch the scene in context, and you're like, I know this is supposed to be serious, but I fucking hate that I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
But one thing I've always liked about your anime videos and your just videos about reviewing media in general is that you always come through it with such a different lens from like how like hardcore fan bases would view it. Like if I see you review an anime, I know I'm not just going to get an anime fan's perspective, but someone who just likes media in general, And I think, I think that's something that's really, really missing in the anime community, in fact, because so many people in anime, for the longest time, if you're an anime fan, you are nothing but an anime fan.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you don't consume any other media.
Yeah, right. And I think a lot of anime fans forget, especially, anime's fucking weird a lot of the times. I think we've just just gotten used to a lot of the weird shit that we can't even pinpoint it anymore. Right?
It gets a little wacky, I agree. I'm very tired of the trope of everyone's like a middle schooler when it has no place in it. Tokyo Revengers, I get, is based off of the guy's actual experience. But why the fuck are they still middle schoolers? They could have been adults.
It literally made the show 2 points worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just because they insisted on keeping them 13.
There's no reason to. They're riding motorcycles. Their parents aren't present. They're no
fighting
reason.
all the time.
Even if you just look at the character designs, you're like, you can't tell me he's a 14.
Yeah, there's literally there's a guy who's 7
you literally look like 27.
7 foot, gets stabbed and lives, and he's 14. Fuck off. No way.
But isn't it weird that we're not okay with that when it comes to something like Tokyo Revengers? But if it's something like Baki, we're like,
I think because Baki never asked you to get invested in a serious emotional way.
God, Baki's so good.
Baki's fucking insane,
it's
man.
It's so silly.
I think we've been saying if only it caught on a little bit more, it could easily be like that JoJo level of show of kind of meme.
They need to increase the animation budget though. I don't know if you watched the recent ones. It's very much still images that they shake a camera on.
Yeah. If it got JoJo's level of animation, I swear it would be as popular. I think.
Baki's done weirder shit than JoJo.
Oh, it's not even a comparison.
Yeah.
I just love that Baki will do the stupidest shit, but it will deliver it to you in the most serious narration. It'll be like, oh my god!
Just the fact that he literally powers up after he loses.
That's
the best thing in the world.
How is that not the most iconic scene?
And his dad's just seeing this. All right, it's the best.
That whole season was amazing. I can't remember the big mafia guy's name, but he comes up to him
Hanayama?
when they're at the river, and he comes up and he's like, "Your girlfriend, does she want to be a prostitute or something?" And he's like, "Well, no, I don't think so." And then she's getting really serious, "Oh my god, Baki, maybe I will," or whatever. It was such a weird scene. I remember watching that. I was like, "This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing."
And everyone forgets he's 14 in this show. It's 8 feet tall.
Just gets revived from drinking 10 liters of sugar water. Did you say some Japanese YouTuber try to do it?
Yeah. So have you seen the scene in Baki? I think it's the second season.
Yeah.
Where he gets poisoned or whatever, and he gets really, really skinny.
Oh yeah, that was after the slapping guy, right?
Yeah. And then Detsu Kayo gets all right, I know how to revive him, and he gets this 10-liter bucket of water and 10 kilograms of sugar, and he's like, drink it.
And it somehow revives him.
And then it somehow revives him. And I saw this Japanese YouTuber who was like, I wonder if you can do that in real life. And so he literally got like a bucket of water, 10 liters, put 10 kilograms of sugar in it, and started drinking it. He maybe got like 1/50th of the way and just like threw up. It's like, can confirm, does not work in real life.
It just gives you diabetes, man.
Literally just died.
Instant diabetes. Oh my god.
Yeah, I noticed you do a lot of like. Okay, let's talk about Moby Huge for a second. How did that become like a meme?
I saw it on Amazon.
You saw it on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
What were you looking
Wait,
up?
what do you mean? You don't just see that on Amazon?
Well, because they give you like the recommended based on things you bought, and like I bought dildos before, usually from Adam and Eve, but Amazon had some weird stuff, so I bought from there. They recommended Moby Huge at some point. I was like, wow, that's kind of nuts. It turns out FaZe Jev had one at some point, so then I got to see it in his video before ordering. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So then $600 later, got a Moby Huge, never looked back. It's great.
I gotta ask, why did you go through a phase of buying dildos?
Yeah, why?
I'm like,
Oh, I mean, no one else was brave enough to test like what are they capable of besides just like putting them in your butthole. Like I needed to see, can we make a car out of it?
Yeah.
Can we hit piñatas with it? Like I had to test it.
I think that's why people really enjoy your stuff. It's like you ask the questions that no one wanted answers for.
Too afraid to answer.
Yeah.
Maybe even that. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's a better way of phrasing it.
yeah. Have you ever thought about buying some of like the weird shit from Japan? Because there's a lot of fucking weird
We
shit
bought
in Japan.
an ovipositor. I don't think it was from Japan though, but that's the egg.
A what?
Oh, you guys don't know ovipositors,
No.
eh?
No.
It's so it's like a pseudo dildo, but it's really spongy and flexible, and it's like an alien wiener. But it has egg inserts, so you can push like a lubed egg through. So when you insert it, you can put eggs into yourself. It's pretty cool. So we got those.
Oh man.
How many?
We got 3. We got it.
Why?
Do you remember what they were called, Danny? I'm sorry to bring you in like this, but they had cool names. It was like the Shakishu. The
Kushu was the long.
Yeah, the Shikushu was like the long, really.
Is this like a fetish?
The florp was the great one.
Is this a fetish?
Yeah.
People are into like the egg being
The ovipositor community.
There's a community?
big community.
How toxic
Man.
are they?
Yeah,
I think they're just happy to see their product.
this review was dishonest about the floor, but I'm fuming. I'm going to make a 4-hour podcast exposing it. Oh my god.
Those were so cool. They were great.
Yeah, so but like speaking of which, like, including the Moby Dick and everything. Oh, not Moby Dick, Moby Huge. Like you upload twice a day?
Usually, yeah, but one of them's usually just stream highlights, from,
Yeah.
like whether I'm playing a game or going over like a goofy topic, and then the other one will be a video I sit down.
So
and
like,
make.
so like one question I want to ask, like just as a fellow content creator, is how do you not get burnout?
I think it's just from doing different things. There was absolutely a time like just doing gameplay and commentary. I'm like, this is getting kind of the
You
same.
started out doing Halo, right?
I started back. Like initially, I started in 2007, and it was Gears of War.
Oh,
Right,
So
right.
those were the first videos I like made myself.
07.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
And then it was Gears of War. And then I transitioned Gears of War to Halo. Then around 2010, I started doing fun tactics for Battlefield, which was the first commentaries. And then from there, gameplay commentaries that, always fun, but started to get a little stale. So then started doing like infomercial dubs. And
I remember the infomercial dubs
Yeah.
as well.
so I just always kept trying to spin new content to keep it fresh. I feel like if you stay in one niche for too long, it gets a little stale for
hard to
for
get out of
you.
the niche.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Been there, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely been there.
I mean, his name's the Anime Man, and he doesn't watch anime anymore. So
I haven't made anime content like over a year.
But
I think that's the way to do it, though, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't want to force yourself to make something.
No,
because
exactly.
then it's not fun for the audience. It's not
Yeah.
fun for
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely.
but why 2 videos a day?
I just have a lot.
Do you ever feel like, fuck, I really want to make this video, but I just don't have time to invest into it?
No, I always have plenty of time to do stuff. Like if it's
That's
a bigger
insane.
project, always make sure to allocate time.
bro, please
It's
teach
so-
me.
Yeah, right.
Teach
Like
me.
you must have like time management skills through
Yeah,
that.
but when you say like bigger project, I just imagine bigger dildos. That's just, you're like, you've got bigger projects in the work. You're like
Yeah.
making a 7-foot dildo.
Yeah, this one's out of marble.
Yeah. If there's one thing I want to see you make a video on, it's featured in one of Joey's video. But do you know what Tenga is?
Yeah.
So there's this Tenga that is basically like an Iron Maiden.
Oh my god.
That
Oh
is
my
basically
God.
like how heavy was it again, Joe?
It's 15 kilograms, so it's like what 25, 30 pounds. Or
30
something
pounds.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it's basically it's like a steel case for your tenga, and the sole purpose of it is so that you can work out while you jack off.
Yeah.
So it's like a shake weight almost.
It's like a shake weight, yeah.
But like, if you dropped it, it would probably.
Oh, it would
destroy your day.
So
basically.
you're not going for
But
any
like Tenga
records.
has like so many. Like I did a video with Garnt where we tested out like all the Tengas that they have at the Tenga headquarters, and they have so many weird ones.
They have a vending machine for them now, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They have like mechs. So like they have the Tenga and it transforms into like a mech.
Yeah, it's like a Tenga.
I don't know. But you can't actually fuck the Tenga. It's just like a toy that is in the shape of a Tenga that can turn into a mech. I don't know why. Japan is just,
Tenga's just one of those companies where it's just like, should we make it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Before why.
Yeah.
And I can respect that. I can respect that.
Absolutely.
But no, what's some of like the weirdest contraptions you've like found? Because your dad makes some weird contraptions that you've shown that are in your studio right now.
Yeah, so my dad likes to make goofy stuff. So he made the Moby Huge into the go-kart. You guys saw that.
Yeah.
He's made the automatic ass wiping robot, which it doesn't work. It just like peels your ass off.
Wait, how does that work?
So he got a rotating motor. And he put like a scrubber on it, so instead of toilet paper, it's just like a scrubber to scrub your ass. But it goes so fast that you can't use it. You'd hurt yourself.
I just feel like a bidet solves this.
Yeah, he does it just for the joke of it. He doesn't actually want to use them.
He's like, son, I just think a few more iterations and we get it.
I think my V2 it'll work.
I think he should rename it to the hemorrhoid machine. It's probably the one thing it'll get you.
Shave like pieces of your ass.
Pieces of your ass off. It's like your ass too fat. All right, get on that thing, man. Shave some off.
I don't know what the weirdest thing I've ever seen would be, though. I'd have to really think.
Was there one thing where you looked at it and you're like, this is too weird to turn into a video?
Yeah. So it wasn't in the back building. I don't know if we got rid of it, but we had 32 pounds of pussy and ass. It was this giant.
Hold on, pause.
Okay.
Explain.
So there's a local chain called the Todd, which is just normal sex shop, but they had something called 32 pounds of pussy and ass.
Yeah.
And it's just this giant ass and pussy. And our idea was to do a toilet paper tier list by smudging chocolate on it and wiping it to see like which was the most absorbent. It was Danny's idea. And we couldn't do it because the pussy and ass are like, it's too fat. Like you can't actually show it.
Do you have this here?
I think it's still there. I don't know.
You gotta put on the all-shape machine, right?
It's too dummy thick.
How big? Like, could you with your hands? How big is it?
It's this big. It's like it would sit in your lap comfortably. It's big. It's gelatinous. It jiggles. It makes cool noises like when you slap it.
How much is it?
Oh, it was like $80. It was,
$80?
That's cheap.
I thought it was
silicone costs. Yeah. How high? Oh, 300.
Oh,
Okay.
Was it? What am I thinking of for 80? We definitely.
Some other fucked up
I
thing.
just imagine you go to the store, you're just like fucking negotiating with the guy.
Yeah,
Best I can do is
Like
$10.
Who else is going to buy 32 pounds of pussy and ass? Like,
I'll take 6 Moby Huges right now with a 20% discount.
I'll get them out of your store.
He goes, I'll take your entire stock.
All the sex stores just know you by name locally. You're like, yeah, hi Jolly, how you doing,
Shit,
man?
here he comes.
Is this just the shit that happens in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Todd sells plenty. They have lower ones, like if lower models, they have 20 pounds of pussy and ass. They have 10. Like, they have
small, medium, and large.
Yeah, they have sizes, but
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to the Wumbo like we did.
So where did this obsession with like the sex toy start? Just because it just seemed fun?
Just because
Dumb?
no one else was really getting goofy
Yeah.
with it, I thought it'd just be a fun piece of content.
I mean, YouTube normally would crack down.
Yeah,
on
does
it.
that kind of content get like age restricted or demonetized?
Some of it does. Some of it doesn't even get demonetized, but some of it does get age restricted if you get like really
I
egregious
wonder
with
what
it.
the YouTube algorithm just thinks
They're
thinks these items are.
I don't know. Like
They're throwing a small child around.
Yeah.
Like, what does it think it is? Like, I'd love to know what the machine is analyzing it. It's like, yeah, well, that's half a human.
yeah, they definitely don't register it as a wiener.
Why would you? It's huge. Oh my god.
This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Watching Netflix without using ExpressVPN is kind of like paying for a gym membership, but only being able to use the treadmill. Why would you live in yourself like that?
Why would you do that?
It's just a waste of money, But luckily, ExpressVPN can fix that. ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so you can control where you want Netflix to think you're located. They have almost 100 different server locations, so you can gain access to thousands of new shows. Plus, this works with many other streaming services too, like BBC iPlayer, YouTube, and a whole lot more.
Guys, I've got a confession. Unfortunately, I am not yet Nihongo Jozu. So sometimes I need anime with my subtitles on. But in Japan, they don't need that. So I have to use ExpressVPN to go on Crunchyroll or something so I can watch anime with subtitles on.
And ExpressVPN encrypts all of your data and has the added benefit of encrypting your data so you can browse the web securely. So be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/trashtaste. Don't forget to use our link at expressvpn.com/trashtaste to get an extra 3 months of free ExpressVPN.
Back to the episode.
I've been curious to know, completely unrelated to the sex. We can get back into that later if something comes up. But when you announced that you were doing Moist Esports, I was like, damn, that seems like a really hard thing to break into.
Yeah.
So like, how did that all come about? Because I am fascinated by that.
And do you want to explain Moist Esports?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
So Moist Esports, it's our esports org. So it started kind of accidentally. It's something we've always wanted to do. But in August of last year, a Smash player by the name of Cola, who had competed in our tournaments and won them, he hit me up on Twitter. He's like, hey, I'm lobbying for Summit, which is a huge Smash Bros. Tournament. He was like, can you retweet this? And I was like, bet, but I'll do one better. I'll make a whole org around it and really hype it up. And then it actually, like, he got in. It actually looked like, Cola had a chance of winning it. Moist Esports can be like a legitimate presence. So then we ended up signing Aaron, which is another Smash Bros. Player, who's a friend of Cola, also at Summit. And we did really well, and we were like, gotta keep this going. So then we just put our foot on the gas. It's super hard to get into because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard the one thing is that, the reason why a lot of these, what are they called? I don't know, esports agencies? What are they?
Esports organizations.
Yeah, organizations.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all venture capital, right? Like hundreds of millions of dollars because they just bleed money. Right?
It's just hemorrhaging money forever, basically. I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's only 2 of them are profitable right now, and it's not from their esports. It's 100 Thieves because of all the merch they pump. And I believe the other one was TSM.
Yeah, it's TSM because they have like a massive fan base that goes all the way back.
Yeah.
And no other esports agency makes money?
No, they're all bleeding money. I'm sure there's some that maybe make profit here and there, but for the most part, you're bleeding money.
That sounds like a bubble.
Well, it's, I think for those, like for companies that try and like get into the esports scene to try and like, because there's a huge multiple because everyone wants to be in there, so they try and build it for 3 years, sell it for like I think it's like a 10x multiple right now, so they'll try and make like a big exit with a big influx of cash. I think for them, it's definitely more of like bubble-ish, maybe even like a bit of a scam on their end because you're doing it just to sell it, like you're kind of misleading everyone. For us, we just love the space. So we're in Rocket League now, we're in Apex, we're in Splitgate, Smash Bros, Guilty Gear, Brawlhalla, like it's just really fun things to watch because for us, we do it for the content. Like the watch parties are fun to watch. So even though it's massively negative in terms of financial gain, the content I think is priceless.
I guess when you say it like that, it's like what better way to get into a bunch of esports than just have your team to root for?
Exactly.
Literally all of them.
100%. Watching the chat like spam Moist Esports emotes and like talk about them, like it's so great. It's super fun.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Because like me and Connor are big league watchers. We don't play it. We don't play it. Just for the record. Just for the record. We don't play it, but we love to watch it. And I know there's a big problem right now where most of like the North American organizations, they like overpay their player salary. Like it's so inflated, right? And the players suck, Unfortunately,
it is
unfortunately, like the organizations don't perform well internationally at all. But the players just like the salaries just keep increasing.
When you're a good player, you go to America to retire. Because you get the paycheck, right? You're like you can just.
I think across all esports, American players get paid the most. Like across the board.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But like, I guess I think you're going about it the right way, where it's just like a fun branding thing as well. And you just,
this is fun.
You just sometimes you just want to get fun, do something fun in the space, Yeah,
and I'm sure eventually, like with merch, and we just got skins in Rocket League. Like I'm sure it won't always be like a huge, massive financial loss. Like right now, it's all out of pocket. But maybe at some point it starts to be self-sustaining.
Are you really deep into the financial side, or are you more like hey, I just want to do this, someone else handled the money part?
So I don't really I'm not like hands-on with the finances.
But you know what's going on.
I absolutely.
I like to hope
I know your financial advisor is like, hey, Charlie, I don't know what's going on, man, but this seems like a bad idea.
So pretty much all of like my Twitch revenue goes right into Moist Esports at this point.
Oh,
so
shit.
it just pretty much all filters there to keep it all sustaining and
Because I
pumping.
saw the whole, you made the video about the Omega Strikers, this cool thing where they said that, I don't know how the tournament functioned. How did it work? So people could play for your team?
Yeah, so like in the game, you go in, you choose what team you want to play for. There was like me, Raken was the other big one from Brazil. Lily Pichu had a team. Dyrus had a team. And you just go click, I'll compete for your team. Every win you get counted for them. Whoever had the most wins after 10 days got the first prize, which was 3% of the net revenue of the game, which is a crazy offer. So we went hog wild on that.
I saw the results, and it was like 10 million, 2 million, and it was like, okay, I think you won.
Yeah, I mean that could amount to like
awesome.
It's a fun game too. Like it could amount to no money or it could amount to some, but it seemed like an opportunity worth it because fun game and it could lead to something to help Moist Esports. So.
Yeah, because I think you mentioned in your video, right, that you mainly the reason you want to do it was you're like, hey, all this money's going to go into Moist Esports.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. Like it seems like a colossal undertaking.
It is. It's a lot to get into the field.
Like, do you see it making money like profitably in like the next 5 years, or is that like even further down the line?
5 years, hopefully. 5 years is a long time to keep going out of pocket. True. Yeah, it'd be nice within 5 years, but obviously.
Are there any more games you want to get into in terms of like esports that you want to bring under?
Yep. So we've been looking a lot at like CS:GO. Valorant kind of shot themselves in the foot with their whole franchising. I don't know if you guys know about that, but they had a big.
He just hates Valorant. Period.
I hate watching Valorant. I think it's like the most boring thing to watch.
I'm a fan to watch. I don't play anymore. But like all the big ones. League, of course, is a pipe dream, but that's super expensive.
On those spots like 15, 20 million or something.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of
months I got to stream on Twitch.
That's a lot of Omega Strikers right there.
God damn.
Yeah, what do you think makes like a good esport? Because it seems like whenever a new hype game gets released now, everyone's like, oh, okay, when's the esports? When's the esports starting?
Well, I mean, the Overwatch League was like they manufactured it, right?
Yeah.
And then that kind of crashed and burned.
Oh, that so bad. It was $20 million just to be in it. It was so dumb.
Jeez. And I remember, because I liked Overwatch when it first launched, and I was like, oh, okay, let's try watching the esport of this, and I just could not follow.
It is a miserable esport.
I think it's a shit esport to watch.
It just wasn't fun. It was two tanks, everyone's just shooting at tanks forever. Then dump alts, rinse and repeat. It wasn't a fun esport.
And there's like no time to explain. I think League has that perfect balance as a spectator sport where there's enough breathing room where you can kind of explain things if a friend's watching with you, or you can kind of talk through it. And the games are long; they're like 40 minutes, and it's very obvious when something is happening. Whereas in Overwatch, you're like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Genji killed my whole team, and I'm like, how do I explain this? I'm like, so you get to reset every time he kills, right? But then Anna used her ult to empower him, and so like it's like actually it's pretty cool. And it's like what? Like it doesn't make sense if you don't know the game.
I think for an esport to be like hype to watch, it's got to be fast paced, and it's got to be something you can look at, knowing nothing about the game and understand. So Rocket League's perfect for that. I mean, it's soccer. With cars. You know exactly what you're looking at.
Smash is great with that.
Smash pretty easy as well.
Is awesome.
Well, just like any fighting game.
Fighting games are
it's two players in a fighting game most of the time. They fight each other. You know exactly what's happening.
And fighting esports seems the most hype.
It's
like
so
the crowds are insane.
Oh my god! Just the community in general. They just like I want to get into fighting games just to be a part of this community.
They are massively hype. It's so good.
Just seeing the crowds like scream and jump around whenever anyone's doing anything, and it's literally Pikachu fighting Jigglypuff, and people are losing their grown men are like, yo! It's like this is so surreal when you sit back and think about it, but like it's awesome. It's
just like the perfect level of toxicity as well, where it's just like everyone's shit talking, so nobody takes anyone seriously.
Exactly.
I kind of wish other esports had that in a way that where it worked, but I guess because fighting games just had it from the ground up, right?
And it's one-on-one, so they can talk shit to each other, whereas it's like 5v5, it's much harder to start talking shit.
Because you see an interview in League, and it's just like 90% of interviews are like the most boring, generic, PR interview of all time. And then you see fighting game interviews and they're just like, everyone's talking shit. It's so much fun.
It's so much better.
Yeah. And like the memes that come out of it as well. I just think like the fighting game community memes.
Oh my god,
like
all of like the compilations that come out of like the Smash Bros tournaments and shit is the best to watch.
Salty Smash Bros.
Salty Smash Bros. Moments are so good.
Compilation 15.
It's so good.
I think the only thing in my mind that makes fighting games like not a great I mean it's good spectating, but like on the level that like
let me hear your hot take. Let me hear your hot take.
Just because it's over too fast.
They're fast. So like when you get like a Street Fighter or Tekken, those games can go by in a single combo.
And it's like, you know, you watch League, you can go to the toilet, you can come back, and maybe you missed something, maybe you didn't. But in fighting games, if you miss it, or you went out to get some snacks from the store, like the bracket has totally changed, and like it's hard to follow the characters. And then like, you know, you can build up these teams in longer form games and longer tournaments. Whereas, you know, in fighting games, you get knocked out, and then it's like, okay, well, my guy's gone. I don't really know who like Cheetos XX4 is, and like, you know, it's. I feel like the storylines aren't there as often. Like the way that they could, you can manufacture it more with like.
I feel with something like Evo, they do a good job with like.
You
know, creating the story.
Because when you have people who come back time and time again, then you can make stories. Right. You have like the top 10 players who are normally at most events. Then you can start making the narratives, right? And if they're there a lot, then it works. But even then, it's over in minutes.
Well, I think the difference is that with something like League, you know, you have organizations, you know. With fighting games, it's very much here is the individual player. It's only like one-on-one. So it's like far easier to follow the narrative of this organization like you do with like traditional sports.
For sure.
You know?
It works.
Especially
sports. Story arc.
We have a great story.
Do you? Hell yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Are you thinking, aside from esports, do you ever think you're going to get into like any other business or any other field?
Well, I mean, you're also you did the comic, right?
Yep,
that's insane.
We're still working on
that. Which is also absolutely insane. I feel like you're doing so many massive things all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy to see, especially with the 2 videos a day plus streaming. It's like
you'd never think the guy who buys 6 giant dildos is like a savvy businessman who's trying to like branch out. You know, it's like it's awesome.
It's inspiring, honestly.
It's just a lucky position to be in to do those things. Like those are all dream things, like doing the comic book, doing the esports org and stuff like that. It's just things I've always wanted to do. So to be able to do it is just. I love doing it.
Is there like anything else you like really want to like tick off the bucket list that you can say on camera?
You're gonna make a whole show from Godslap.
That we definitely want to do that. We've been working on our Netflix pitch, which will hopefully be coming up sometime soon.
Oh hell yeah!
Do
you want to explain your comic book to the fans?
Yeah, so Godslap is something we started a few years back. So Matt, Danny, Jackson, and I created it. It's just this really goofy, like cyberpunk-esque world where people are slapping the shit out of each other. There's, without giving too much away, there's some villains like the Fister, who he maybe uses his fist as opposed to an open palm. And basically, it's the adventure of Boiis finding his place in that world right now, as well as eventually squaring off with that guy. That's the arc we're currently on.
I think by the time this comes out, the animation thing will have dropped.
Hopefully.
I think.
So right now, the reason we've had issue 2 done for a while, but we've had a problem with like paper shortages and everything because everything's in a shortage. So it's a little out of our hands at the moment, but hopefully soon.
How did the idea come about?
Was it from the slapping video?
Yeah, I was going to ask if is it from the slapping Olympics?
I think it wasn't right after that either, because Jackson was talking about like some dumb Star Wars shit. Because he's a big Star Wars fan, I was like, Jackson, this is stupid. You know what would be cool? Slapping. And then we just started talking about slapping. And this was right after like the biggest one. I think it was Vasily versus Alesh.
Right.
That was massive.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when you covered the slapping videos, I would just see a video we have 10 million views.
Oh, it's such a fun sport.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it's the most Eastern European sport I've ever seen. Because it's like, I feel like Eastern Europeans are not happy unless someone is near death.
Yeah, no, I was surprised there wasn't like glassing incidents of like slamming their head on like an actual pint or something crazy. It went hard.
So when is one of them getting sponsored by Moist Esports?
Any day now. We'll get them out there. Get them in
that slapping division as well.
You're one of the first, like, someone's going to die from that slapping.
Someone did die.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and is actually one of the biggest guys in the scene. His name was Valus, Artur Valus.
Wait, what happened? You just got slapped, just died?
So the champion Zalesh slapped him so hard that he lost consciousness briefly, but he came to, his brain started hemorrhaging. They had to rush him out, and he was put into a medically induced coma, and he didn't make it.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
If you look at the guy though, you would never expect someone like him could even be pierced by a bullet. Like, he was one of the biggest men I've ever seen.
I'm guessing they didn't like halt the esports at all. This esports,
I'm pretty sure they actually had to stop.
Oh, good.
Right.
Yeah.
That division, I think, had to stop because I haven't seen them do anything like that since. That was their big tournament that happened.
It seemed really bizarre. It seemed kind of like a less of an organized sport, more of a, we have this big guy who wants to try and slap him. He is currently the champion.
Yeah. It was very much, these are fucking freaks and they're gonna slap each other.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like kind of like an
like a circus kind of event, kind of like a
almost like
beat the guy and you get $100.
Now the US one, Slap Fight Championship, that one actually is like run like a real sport. Like, they do drug testing. They have this thing where, like, if you get knocked out 3 times, you're just out because they don't want CTE. Like,
I didn't even know there was an American one.
Yep. Slap Fight Championship is the American league.
Oh my god.
It feels way more dangerous than like boxing.
It is. Because you can't defend yourself.
Exactly.
You just take it.
Oh, some of those slaps
basically
are
the
painful.
equivalent of if a boxer was just standing there being like, come on, punch me in the face.
Yeah,
right?
So,
I don't know, it's terrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
The thought of doing that.
oh my god. You cover like a lot of like little underground sports like this though. Like, apart from slapping, what are some of your other favorites?
Oh my god. Anyone here a fan of backyard wrestling?
No, what is that?
Please explain.
This is as American as it gets.
This sounds very Floridian.
No, this is very American.
Okay.
Backyard wrestling, it used to be much bigger than it is now, but it's unauthorized, unsanctioned wrestling events where
People just film it?
Yep, you just get like a lot of times you get like some inbred people, you get a ring, they get chairs.
Specifically inbred, they
No,
fight
like-
the best? The inbreeding makes them have no pain.
Just traditionally, you'll get some like actual wild people going crazy. So they get chairs, and then eventually, as it ramped up in the early 2000s, they came up with Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, and that's when they used like real barbed wire, real baseball bats, and they were just beating the shit out of each other and calling it wrestling. They jump off of roofs on top of each other, land on grass, not even a ring.
That's just like some World Star shit.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's one in particular. They were on YouTube. I don't know if they are anymore. It's called POR Wrestling. And I'll never forget this stunt. They wanted to go so hard. They had one of them get hit by a like an actual speeding vehicle. So of course it's wrestling, so they script everything. So they're like slapping each other, hits him with like a toilet seat. The guy's stumbling, and then a car comes in. It's going like 30. It's going at least 30. Blasts him. Absolutely fucking blasts him. He flies over the car, lands on the ground, and he's out. I've never seen him again. He may have died. I'm not sure. Never saw him again.
Why was it going 30?
Because it was hype. It was going 30 at the spectators too, because they had an audience. At the spectators, doesn't hit anyone, and just blast that guy.
Holy shit.
They were so proud they did it again a month later, but this time through a motorhome. So they had 2 people wrestling on top of a motorhome trailer. Crashes the car going 30 again through the motorhome at the spectators, hits a tree. It is so
How
cool.
are they making money off
They
it?
don't. They make $0.
They're just destroying
They
shit?
just love it.
It's purely for the thrill.
Yep, the love of the
Man,
sport.
I thought the DDT Japan was like crazy wrestling.
No, you guys have like a backyard wrestling subsidiary, I think, like something very similar.
Right.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I
though.
filmed a video with DDT. They're like typically the crazy ones, the one who do those fights with the dolls, the sex
Oh,
dolls.
those are awesome.
And
though.
the one, I went to one of their shows. It was just so weird. It was a half comedy show, half wrestling.
Acrobatics.
There was this whole bit where these guys just got naked and shoved their ass, going in like rotation 3 of them in someone's face.
Nice.
While he was out.
Huge.
And then smashed a plastic IKEA box on him, and it like fully shattered. And it's just like, what is this? Like this is
That sounds amazing.
That sounds
But
great.
then they legitimately have insane, very good, talented wrestlers for the main show. But then they have like lower down, they have kind of like, all right. I mean, I don't even know what to describe it. Like more clown shows. But like one of the guys who I filmed with, he's AEW now. He's like doing really well.
Okay, yeah,
Japanese guy, really funny. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite videos I've seen recently, which is something I didn't know existed in this day and age, was a documentary about the bare knuckle boxing scene.
Yeah, that's big now.
Yeah, which like the only reason I knew it exists was from the Vice one. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, I fucking love that video.
It was like a debt collector who was like the champion from Liverpool or something.
Yeah, he was from Newcastle, I think. And they
right.
were building up to this like final event because there's this bare knuckle boxing champion in England, right? And then someone from America, like I think it was a champion from America, flew over to fight him in England. Yeah, a new challenger approaches, right? And so they build up this massive event. It follows like both of their stories, and you see the American, and he's like perfectly chiseled. You know, he's exactly what you think a bare knuckle boxer should look like.
Right.
And then there's this guy from fucking Newcastle, right, who's got like this fucking massive beer belly.
He's like drinking and eating like full
drinks and
English
he's like he
breakfast
drinks
and
like he was like drink, you know, he has like a proper beer belly. He's drunk most of the time, and so we get to like the day of the fight, and the American is there on time, ready to fight. And the guy from Newcastle is like 2 hours late or something because he's like he's been drinking. He's been drinking the night before, and then he shows up in this taxi, fucking drunk out of his mind, stumbling into the ring, and he fucking wins this fight. It's fucking it's one of the most British things I've ever seen in my life. It literally felt like a Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah, if you haven't watched that video, please watch it. It's one of my favorite videos I've watched recently.
It's a Vice documentary on it.
I think it's a Vice documentary.
North is wild. Bro.
Yeah, it's up north now. What are they doing?
It's like off Florida.
That's one thing I wanted to ask actually. Like, how do you like stumble upon these like kind of very like weird underground like niche?
You just get a lot of people messaging.
Yeah, usually people will tell me about something silly going on. Like telephone booth boxing is big right now on Twitter.
Okay, hold on. What is that?
It's a Russian sport, I believe. They get two guys go into a telephone booth and they just start boxing.
What inside the tiny?
Specifically a telephone.
Men will just find 900 different ways to fight each other.
Yeah. It's cool too. Like they don't hold back either. They go fucking wild in that telephone booth.
Holy shit.
And then people like tweet at me like, "Oh, this looks like something Charlie would like," and then I'll check it out. That's
And
usually
you're like, yeah, you're right. This is a lot.
great.
What else? Any other weird shit that you like? I'm sure there's some other fucked up shit.
I've found so many weird communities. This isn't a community, it's one guy, but there's a guy whose entire channel is built around sitting on things, wearing tight pants. So he sits on like hot lunches and birthday cakes.
Oh, I remember. I've seen this guy. It's fucking weird.
It is weird. He just he doesn't even do anything sexual. He sits on it and then maybe he like moves a little bit.
Sits on the cake one time. Yep. Yeah, okay, I've seen this.
Is it like for review purposes?
No,
it's
it's like silent, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to be a fetish, but he doesn't even do anything sexual. He just like sits on food. I don't know. He sits on an orange in one of them, which was cool.
I'm turned on. I'm interested.
I need to find this guy.
Yeah, it's not really a community, but I mean, he's kind of cool.
One dude.
It's just one. He's making the community, man.
He's building it.
I like to imagine that there's like a secret like Reddit community for that guy, right?
There's gotta be.
I don't like the way that he sat on that orange. You know? I really wish he'd changed the angle of that camera.
2 hour podcast.
2 hour podcast dissecting why his ass isn't firm enough.
So, did you grow up in Florida?
I've been here my whole life. Yeah.
So, as someone who is outside the US, you know, we hear about Florida basically through the internet.
Yeah.
Is it as crazy as the internet portrays it as? I've always wanted to know.
It's hard to say. Like, I definitely know of like really Florida weird shit. Like even here in Tampa, and I've mentioned this guy a lot. He used to be called the Ybor Shoe Licker.
What?
Yep. There's a place in Tampa, well, south from here, called Ybor.
Right.
And there's a guy there who built himself up like a big reputation for licking people's shoes on the street. So the guy just...
For money?
No, for fun. So he hangs out, he's just on the street.
Okay.
And if you walk by him, he'll ask if he can lick your shoe. And you expect, like, I imagine you guys are picturing he like licks the top of your shoe or something.
Yeah.
He licks the bottom of your shoe from bottom to top in like one fell swoop.
What?
And
What does he get out of it?
he just likes it.
Like,
I don't know.
turned on by it?
I don't know, he just likes it.
And that's like a Florida staple. That's
Yeah,
like
well, that's a Tampa staple.
Oh, okay.
Not even
You're like,
Florida.
no, come on, that's us.
that's our
give those
pride.
Orlando people credit.
Yeah. There's one Chelsea knew as well, the senator. He in Ybor as well, there's a place called the Castle.
Right.
And the guy, his name was the senator. He would go there, he'd go in like a G-string, but he'd always pop Viagra, so he'd go like chubbed to this club to dance and get wild and wacky.
Wasn't just chubbed. I mean, he was
People
rock on.
People just feel like it's like a different planet here.
Like there are those things that exist here, but I, on a normal daily basis, don't see too much Florida shit.
You know, because obviously, you, like I said, you've been in Florida your whole life. Did you see a progression where it got more weird over the years, or has it always kind of been kind of odd and
It's always
just less documented?
Yeah, I think just less documented. I think because Florida has that like very open law where it's like anyone who gets arrested, it's all public. You can come check it out. They have videos usually, so it's always kind of been
out. Check it out. Hey, did you see the new batch? Dude, some good ones on there, man.
Was there like a town billboard, like an Animal Crossing, where it's like, let's see what's today's?
Make it sound like a zoo or something. You know? Come look at all the wild shit happening in Florida, guys.
Here are this week's Florida man.
New arrests just dropped. Check it out. That's crazy.
I mean, I guess that's where the whole like Florida man thing started, right?
100%.
It's weird. I know in where I was born and raised, there's a weird public roster of all the criminals. And then when they commit them, they'll have the mugshot and like, this is what this guy did.
Really?
And in like very, not like plain language, and very like opinionited language. It's really bizarre. Yeah.
Opinionated.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, I can't believe you got caught.
It's weird stuff. Because when you're from a small town, you're like, oh, nothing bad happens, and then you read this, you're like, oh, bad stuff happens. Yeah, okay, I definitely just didn't know. It's weird.
This episode is sponsored by PC Specialist. Black Friday sales are now live at PC Specialist, guys, with pre-built systems available at a discounted price for a limited time only. Do you want more customization, but like me, not confident in building a PC yourself? Don't worry. Build your next generation gaming PC with PC Specialist's easy-to-use custom configurator.
Do not let Joey build a PC. Please get PC Specialist to do it instead.
Please help me, PC
Please. He will
Specialist.
plug
I
it
need
in the
it.
motherboard. He will not use the graphics card.
So guys, whether you're a gamer, enthusiast, content creator, or just Joey, PC Specialist has got you covered with a wide range of components to choose from to suit any budget for your need. Messy wires inside your PC will be a thing of the past, as PC Specialist neatly cable manages then thoroughly test each order to ensure stability and performance. Thank God.
All of their PCs are powered by Windows 11, playtime anytime. So get yours now by visiting pcspecialist.st/trash taste and using our code TRASH for a discount at the checkout. Or smash that link in the description down below. Back to the episode.
I'm curious because I recently, in the past like year or two, got like super addicted and super into Twitch. How did you get into it? Because as far as I've ever been on Twitch and watched it, you've always been streaming on it.
So I started on JustinTV in 2010.
The throwback.
Did you have that thing where it automatically transferred you?
No, because I took a 6-year break. I streamed in 2010 and I stopped at the end of 2010.
Okay.
And then I picked it up again in 2016, but that was on YouTube. And then I switched to Twitch in 2018.
Right.
JustinTV slapped though. Were you guys ever on JustinTV?
No, I was on
You were
JustinTV, yeah.
It was great. JustinTV had like 24-hour reruns of like Angry Video Game Nerd 4-player podcast.
Hell yeah.
It was so wild back then.
Didn't they have a rule where you weren't allowed to stream non-gaming stuff as well?
No, JustinTV was anything goes for the most part. Yeah. Twitch started as only gaming.
Yeah.
Right.
And they changed it after a while.
Yeah. Then they eventually added the IRL category.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because JustinTV was the original streaming platform. And then because there were so many people streaming games, they were like, let's make a separate website just for that. Everyone else streamed from Justin.tv.
No, didn't it all get moved over?
And then eventually all got moved over because Justin.tv got shut down.
They got bought out, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
Is it your Tamagotchi?
Fucking Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi's going off.
Oh
Sorry.
Really?
God.
Are you really?
Really, Joey? Really?
Sorry. Okay.
Put the fucking Tamagotchi
Give him the
away.
belt, Joey. Give him the belt.
No, he's asleep now. It's fine. He was just like, I need to go to bed. It's fine.
I'm curious what you think of all the Twitch stuff that they recently did.
Oh yeah.
The splits and everything.
The splits and a few other things they did. I mean, obviously they changed the rules on gambling. It's a little better. It's a step in the right direction, I think.
That's definitely a step in the right direction. I think.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think where Twitch is going?
It shows a very clear lack of like understanding the platform and the streamers.
Yeah.
Like this was a point Ludwig brought up and one that I think is super true. Twitch is super bloated. They have so many engineers, but I can't name anything they've put out that is good in the last like 5 years. Like elevated chats are dog shit. I think we can all agree.
Fucking awful.
It's terrible. Like
they don't understand.
They don't do anything.
What is elevated chat?
So they added super chat.
Yeah, but it goes under the stream most of the time, so you can't see it as the streamer.
What?
Yeah. So the
I
elevated
can
chat
see it.
doesn't elevate. It goes under your stream, and you never see it. It's a complete
What's the point
scam.
of that?
There is no point.
I think they want to get people to not donate. I think they're trying to stop people from getting donations.
Because Twitch doesn't get a cut of it.
Oh,
right? Because it's like, why would we do that when we can't take 50% of it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it seems bloated. And also, it's odd. I remember seeing a few articles that obviously they replaced a lot of the staff and slowly it became, less focus on like the community and more about the business side of it, which obviously is good in some senses, but others it's like, all right, this is a clear message of what they're looking for.
But they just don't know how to do it, right? Like, because you would think the last thing you'd want to target is the streamers, because I looked it up recently, 76% of all Twitch traffic comes from the top 1% of streamers.
Yeah.
And I think expanding further, it was like 99% of all Twitch traffic comes from the 0.1% of top streamers.
Yeah.
Which most of the top streamers are on the 70-30.
Yep, almost all of them. Like pretty much everyone on that leak is in the 70-30 split. So targeting them pushes them to maybe go to YouTube where it is 70-30.
Yeah.
And they usually get a bag for the Switch.
Yeah.
Like Twitch should be, that's like the last resort taking from the streamers. They should go for like, we have 1 million engineers. Maybe we start making some cuts here instead. They're not doing anything.
It's odd. I don't really know what their objective or goal with it is.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see. I don't know.
It just has to be like short-term turnover profit or something.
It's like, what are they going to do next, I guess, which is kind of the worrying thing.
Have you thought about going back to streaming on YouTube, or are you going to stay on Twitch for a while?
I still think Twitch is the better platform at the moment.
I think it's definitely the better live streaming experience as a viewer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
But if they keep shoving so many ads in their face, like it's going to get beaten by YouTube. YouTube, you skip the ads, right? Like it's better there.
And as a streamer, they keep trying to get you to play ads all the time.
Yes. Oh, it's so awful.
And it's just because they're like, when you play a 3-minute ad, it's a lot. Like it's so much, and it interrupts the content. It's not an ad break. It's like, I'm still streaming. I'm still doing stuff, and now I'm just annoying people because they can't see it. Whereas if it was an ad break, no one would see anything, and everyone is understanding of the fact that nothing is happening.
Right.
So that's why the ads are playing. And so I think that's why it's frustrating. I remember I had the automatic ads on.
It's a disaster.
Because I had a. Did you know this? Twitch has this automatic ads thing.
Yeah.
So I had someone from Twitch. This is a very, very long time ago. They reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, if you run these automatic ads, it's really good. Your viewers really enjoy it because there's no more pre-rolls." That's the way they sold it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good." Because if every 1 minute of ads. For 10 minutes on your channels, when people click on it for the first time, there won't be an ad.
Right.
So if there's an ad every 10 minutes for 1 minute, there'll be no pre-rolls. But that's a lot of ads.
It's a lot.
So I turned it on, and I very suddenly found out that people hated it. They were like,
it's very backwards logic.
Because what you forget is that, maybe it's good at getting the initial retention. But when you actually go and look at your stats, people are normally watching streams on average. If you do like a 6-hour stream, people are normally watching for 2 hours. It's a long time. And that's a lot of ads to throw their way, especially if they're already giving you $5 a month. You know what I mean? Like $5 a month for
and maybe like the occasional bits and donations and stuff as well if they're really dedicated.
It's like, I'm not Netflix. You don't get a catalog. I barely turn up half the time. And you're paying $5 a month for that? Like, and then I have to make you sit through an ad every minute? What? Like at least Netflix, you get like Rick and Morty, Arcane.
Just Rick and Morty.
Just Rick and Morty.
Just Rick and
nothing else.
You get Arcane, maybe a Terminator movie.
God bless.
You know what I mean? It's like you're asking a lot. So it's frustrating that they kind of push you towards this, in my opinion. Sorry, I asked this question. I just use it as a vehicle to brand.
No, I think that it's a good rant to have. The ads are outrageous. They're putting way too much focus on like incentivizing streamers to run ads. By taking that split away, they keep hyping up their ad incentive program to make up for it, which is super scummy.
And the ad incentive program doesn't really make sense after you're a certain size, because the amount of money they're going to give you for the amount of intrusion you'd have to do is not worth.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It helps a lot of really, really small streamers, I think, give them an extra little paycheck, but I just don't think it, like, I've never looked at it and thought once that it made sense.
Is the Netflix category even still good?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Netflix category?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you were talking about Netflix. Sorry, going on a complete tangent, Does Netflix even still have a good catalog? Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
The thing is, if you don't live in the US, yes. Like, if you're outside of the US, there's pretty much no competition. Think about it, right? Like, in the UK, there's not really much choice.
You don't have HBO Max?
You can't get HBO Max outside of America.
No,
We can't get Hulu.
Oh wow.
You can get Hulu in Japan though, but the catalog is shit.
And the one thing that does suck is that a lot of the time, because of the way that Japan does things, like anime will be on Netflix in Japan, but because of the deal, there won't be English subtitles. So it's really frustrating, because if I swap to, like, if I was in America, it would have English subtitles, but they just take it off just for Japan because of some licensing deal.
Not a problem with me if you're
Yeah. Some shows is fine. Some shows I really need the subtitles.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, I don't know, I still watch a lot of Netflix.
I barely watch Netflix anymore, and I realized this the other day, actually. I'm like, shit, I'm paying for a subscription basically just for anime, and the anime catalog is like, even like deteriorating.
I watched on the plane ride over here. They made a documentary about the.
Oh yeah, you watch documentaries.
I watched a lot of documentaries.
I'm a fan of documentaries.
Even if they're dog shit. Like, I just love seeing what people think is good enough for a documentary and seeing how they present the story. But lately there's been this weird trend, and I don't know, there's a few production companies that are pumping these out, where it was about the GameStop stock.
Oh, nice.
There was a documentary on that?
Literally just came out.
Wow.
And it's this category of like, all right, we managed to get like 6 relevant enough people to the story to agree to an interview.
Right.
From a story that's already like well explained and stuff. And we'll make a really mediocre documentary about something that you maybe heard about. Right. And then they spell it out in really dumb ways. And all the edits are really, like, how they show social media in documentaries and portray it is like, they can't just show a Facebook feed. They always have some dramatic kind of angle of some fake Facebook feed, and it's always just looks terrible, and the narrator's annoying, and it's always just shit. And this documentary about the GameStop one was just awful. I'd rather have a 20-minute like video by internet historian.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was just like, if I want a documentary about the GameStop stuff, it's from internet historian.
Yeah, they turned like a 20-minute story into a 2-hour thing where they smash cut, and they do this with everything. It's like true crime, other stuff. There's a few really good documentaries on Netflix. I think like Untold is really good. If you've ever watched that.
I heard the recent Jeffrey Dahmer one was.
That's like more.
Yeah, it's like a full show.
That's a show though. That's not like a documentary.
Oh, okay.
They had the Don't Fuck with Cats documentary for Netflix though. If you saw that.
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
I didn't finish it actually.
I thought it was decent.
I thought the story was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the actual story itself.
It's the people that they got were very pretentious and like annoying. Yeah.
The people they got to tell the story were just really off-putting and really annoying. Because that's important, right? Who the narrator who's telling the story or the voices that we're getting it through. Are like the make or break with the documentary. And there's ways you can use it well, and there's ways you can't. Like what's the documentary about that guy who's like he's insane and he just lies all the time. And he used to pretend to be like missing kids in America.
Oh, I remember this documentary. I can't never heard of it.
And so the whole documentary is told from like his perspective. And he's telling you what's happening and what he did and how it all goes. And then like right at the end, they throw you this twist where like they just kind of make you realize that you've been listening to this whole guy tell you the story and that you just took his word for everything. And that this guy is an impulsive liar.
Yeah.
And so like they throw this bone right at the end that just makes you think like, oh, I think half the shit he just said was just complete bullshit, but you have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's so good because it's like I like documentaries that make you question the people who are talking, and that's why I like it when there's multiple sides in the documentary.
Yeah.
But more often than not, they only get one side and stuff like that.
But basically, what he was pretending about was because there was this family who had a missing child, and their child was like missing for years and years, and then years later, this guy pretended to be their missing child, right? And he got away with it for like fucking years before people started like asking questions.
Yeah.
But when you're following his perspective, he starts throwing in like little questions to make you question the family that took him in.
Yeah,
to
he made them seem like the weird ones who were trying to hide something.
Yeah.
He made it seem like, oh, maybe they murdered their kid and they'd be like, oh my God, our kid turned up and we definitely didn't kill our other kid.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that this kid that he was pretending to be was from like Missouri, the guy pretending to be him was French.
Wait, I know that. I know
Yeah.
that. I haven't seen the documentary. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
He's like insane.
Yeah,
Like,
I know exactly who you're talking about. Though.
and it's brilliant because it uses this guy's because he's really well spoken. He tells his stories really well.
Yeah.
And it's I love it when documentaries do this, when they like take the person and then they're like, by the way, this guy might be full of shit.
Right.
And then they kind of use the
sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really
the
good.
guy's story is pretty interesting.
It's
I mean, it's an
even if it's
insane story.
lies, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like it's so good that like it's worth the watch.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. Please
I
watch
might have to
it.
check
I
it out.
wish I remember the name.
Mudan, put the poster on screen,
Yeah.
you know, because it is a really good documentary. I highly recommend that one as well.
Do you have like that one documentary you watched that just like blew your mind?
Oh, this is an embarrassing one. When I was a kid, the one that blew my mind was a very taboo one. It was called, was it Zeitgeist? The one that was like looking at religion is a scam. 9/11 was an inside job.
Some conspiracy theory stuff.
Yes. I think it was called Zeitgeist or something like that.
Zeitgeist?
Right.
Yes, it was something like that. And it was basically a 4chan video, but they put it on like DVD. And I watched it and I was like, whoa, this is nuts. 9/11 was done by Bush.
Because when you're like 12, you believe that.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, they're making crazy arguments.
Yeah.
The God's not real.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Holy shit.
That was like the one, I guess it wasn't even a documentary. It really
Did you
was.
tell your friends about it?
I did, yeah. 100%.
Did you know, guys? We didn't actually land. Isn't that crazy?
I legit had like the same thing happen, and I was like 12. Because when you're 12, you think that like people who make stuff like movies or film must be correct because they make
And it's on DVD.
because it's on DVDs, it's on movies. And I remember I had this one. I think I told this story on the podcast once, but we had to do a school presentation, and I just watched. It was like in front of like a class of like 20. I just watched a bunch of things about the moon landing being fake.
Oh, no.
Even though I didn't believe it, right? I didn't believe it. And then there's like 9/11 stuff, and you know the whole like wingdings. Where you if you type in like certain things on Wingdings on Microsoft Excel, it's like, oh my god, it's proven that 9/11 was like fake. Obviously, all bullshit. So I went to school and I did this presentation, and what I expected to happen was my teacher would be like, "You're a fucking idiot. What the fuck's wrong with you?" My teacher was like, "Oh shit." Dude, the Wingdings thing is kind of convincing. And at the time, I thought, dude, I'm big brain, dude. And then like days later, my friend was like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what did you watch? I was like, I don't know, some random YouTube video. And I realized I just did like a fucking conspiracy theorist pitch to like a bunch of 12-year-olds.
And you almost convinced your teacher.
Well, I'm pretty sure my teacher to this day thinks the moon landing was fake. Like, from a 12-year-old kid. I'm like, if I was able to convince my like 20-something-year-old teacher that the moon landings were fake as a 12-year-old, I don't think she should have been teaching.
To be fair though, I feel like at age 12 or around there, like as long as you say something with absolute confidence, you're most likely to believe it.
Dude,
my dad trolled the shit out of me with that kind of stuff when I was little. Like,
oh my god, your dad just like what did you tell us the other day?
Yeah, so I said it on one of the live shows, but like my dad, so our family used to play like a lot of like card games, like, you know, like solitaire obviously, but like a lot of like other card games, stuff like that. And my mum was really good at shuffling the cards. Like she'd do like the whole like flicking the wrist kind of thing and like pulling it back in my hand and stuff. Bridging and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, as like a 10-year-old, you're just like, whoa, that's sick. What the fuck? Yeah. And then my dad one day was just like, yeah, do you know why your mom's really good at shuffling? It's because she used to be a dealer in Vegas. And I believed that shit until like age 19. And I would tell that to my friends as well. Being like, your mom might be cool, but my mom used to be a dealer in Vegas.
My Japanese mom.
My Japanese mom used to be a dealer in Vegas. And then I think it was like 19 or 20 or something. My dad was like, son, I have to kind of come clean. Yeah, your mom wasn't a dealer in Vegas. I lied to you this entire time. And I asked my mom about it, and she's like, yeah, I've never even been to America. Like, I don't know what your dad's talking about. And ever since then, I'm just like, whenever I hear something, or like whenever someone tells me something in the utmost confidence, immediately my mind's just like,
Yeah.
Is it really though? Is it really?
Dude, the first time I found out the Lavender Town like copy pastas, bro, I thought it was so real.
The kids
I
going
was
insane
shitting
thing.
myself. I was I listened to it. Oh my god.
What is a lavender?
There was like this
copy
whole
pasta?
thing where it was like if you played it backwards or slow or something.
No,
it was
it was a creepypasta, which was Lavender Town in the first Pokemon game.
because all the Pokemon died. in the
Yeah,
town,
like which
right?
is where like the Pokemon graveyard is.
Yeah.
That theme song apparently in the Japanese version, they used a certain frequency that only children of certain ages could hear, and apparently there was like 3 or 4 cases of like children between the ages of like 5 and 10 going insane listening to the Lavender Town theme from the original Japanese version, and people believe that shit.
Dude,
like,
I believe that
early
shit. I thought
4chan,
they would
early Reddit, like lapped that shit up, being like, "Yo, Nintendo's got a dark secret, bro. When are they gonna come out about
The
this?"
dark side of Nintendo.
Yeah. And then years later people realize it's just bullshit.
Oh man.
As it often is.
That's like the whole like Ben Drown shit.
Ben
and stuff
Drown's
like that.
That's the
Like,
classic.
That's the classic one.
The Rugrats all being dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Nettie, they're all being in purgatory.
Yep, purgatory.
Yeah.
There's something good about some of the good ones there.
Oh,
Ben
I
Drowned
love
one's
that
good.
shit.
Ben
though.
Dra- Darth Jar Jar is a great one.
Oh yes,
Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah, where you know that one?
No.
Where Jar Jar's like a
Jar Jar's like
Sith Lord
secretly a
alive.
Sith Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, okay, yeah, sure.
It's like I know it's bullshit now, but it's like it's still fun to
It's
like
great.
look back on.
It
yeah.
makes Star Wars more interesting.
Yeah.
100%.
Also, I love telling that to people in a convincing voice, being like, "Yeah, this is real.
Yeah.
This was
legit.
actually what George Lucas wanted.
Yeah,
to do.
this is actually what he wanted."
They wouldn't let him have it. Jax were holding him back.
Yeah, Disney was like,
even though it's his company, no, dude. Disney was gonna buy it, so they were like, stop, dude.
I think my favorite hoax that has happened recently was what happened with the Nier Automata community.
Oh,
that was
so
genius.
fucking five-head,
Oh my
man.
god, that was so 5-hand on Yoko Taro's like part. Him just like playing along with
Well,
it.
the
and
thing that made it. So if you don't know what happened, basically there was a video posted on the Nier subreddit of this new part of Nier Automata that had like never been found before. It was an Easter egg.
It didn't even appear on the minimap or anything.
No
Yeah.
minimap, no nothing. And it was from a user that apparently tried to post this clip on the subreddit to find out how to get out of this area, what this area was.
Yeah.
And there was this entire like odyssey of just this user posting more and more areas of this map that had just been uncovered, and this had like the Nier community on like he had them on the tip of their balls, he had
their balls.
No, he had a vice grip on their fucking balls, man. And the thing is, it wouldn't work for any other game, right?
Yeah.
Because for any other game, you'd be like, oh, it's just a mod or it's just a prank. But Yoko Taro seems crazy enough to forget about something this big.
Well, also Yoko Taro actually made like a statement being like, "Oh my god, this is an amazing secret. I'm glad somebody finally found it."
It was more vague. He was more like, "Oh, this is interesting. I wonder how that got there." He didn't make it like a really like sly
and
statement.
people were like, "Oh shit, I should go into the game and try and find it." And it turns out it was a hoax. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a mod. It was a new mod community that had modded the game, even though the game couldn't be modded
But for that brief moment, dude, Nier stocks just went like that.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was so big brain.
Yeah, I wasn't even like a big fan of Nier, but I was like eating up everything that was like going.
That's
on
what
in the
Nintendo
subreddit.
needs to do. Like they need to bring back the Lavender Town thing. Like Satoshi Tajiri just needs to be like, I knew one of the kids that like was hospitalized. It was really unfortunate. I actually own the original copy in a vault at Nintendo headquarters somewhere. Yeah, just
We're bringing back Porygon. He's not done. Oh my god, Jesus. Okay,
I'm trying to think of like other copy pastas that were there like back in the day.
There's none that were like that reached like the level like Ben Drown, Lavender
Do you have like a
Town,
favorite copy pasta from back in the day?
It's not really a copy pasta.
Creepypasta, right?
Creepypasta, yeah.
Creepypasta, not really. I was never a huge creepypasta guy. I like the video essays on it. Like Ben Drown was great. Like that was super cool.
That was good because I felt like Ben Drown was actually just interesting.
Yeah, it was just
how they made it.
It was just fun.
It was
Like,
a cool
good
backstory,
story.
Yeah.
So this isn't a hoax, but my favorite theory, like fan theory around something, is Snowpiercer being in the Willy Wonka universe. If you know that one.
So Snowpiercer, the
like
train.
the train?
Yeah, the train movie. Yeah, yeah, it's a really convincing.
Do you want to explain?
Yeah, I'll do my best. It's super deep. So a YouTuber made this very good video that explains how Snowpiercer is likely a sequel, direct sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And the conductor, like the main guy at the end, have you all seen the movie?
Yeah.
So the guy at the end, that's Charlie Bucket. So his argument is it's set up in the same way that the Chocolate Factory was. You know, it's all self-sustaining. Food plays a big part with like the cockroach bars and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's set up in like the class system where you move up, just like in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And he breaks down like all of the parallels between the characters in Snowpiercer and Willy Wonka. And then he also explains how Bong Joon-ho, the director, was a big Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fan, who in an interview at some point said something about how Willy Wonka had inspired him to make something like Snowpiercer.
Right.
So he connects all of these threads that have no reason to connect well, but does a great job of actually making me believe there's a chance that this does have some connection. It's really good. It's called Snowpiercer. It might be just Snowpiercer's a sequel to Willy Wonka.
Okay,
Right.
I'll check it out.
It's cool. It's really well done.
I have so much admiration for people who can make fan theories like
theories.
that.
that
like,
work.
that work. Like, I just want to imagine like their entire like bedroom is just
Yeah.
like the fucking cork board with like all the strings attached and shit like that. Just
It
like
must
trying
be,
to figure out. you
Yeah.
know.
Actually, I've always wanted this because you know, like the Zelda timeline, right?
Yeah.
The Zelda canon timeline. So before Nintendo released it, like there were like so many fucking fan theories, like, you know, theorizing about how all the Zelda games connect together, and it was only after like I think like 5-10 years ago that did Nintendo actually make it canon. But I'm like, there's no way they fucking planned this, right? No. I swear to God, they must have looked at these fan
Bro, you
theories.
just make a new game.
Yeah,
They probably looked at
right.
the most like convincing fan theory and was like, yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, because like I think compared to all the fan theories, the only difference was in Zelda Ocarina of Times, there are like, it diverges into 3 timelines instead of 2 timelines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is way too fucking convenient. I swear to God, someone at Nintendo was looking at these fan theories and they were like, we can make this a thing. We can definitely make this a thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, they probably looked at all the fan theories and was just like, all right, next game, we need to just completely just fuck up the timer so that they can just start from scratch, make them work even harder.
Bring out the Philips CDI. That'll fuck it up. That'll send it into a
It was like, yeah, where does this fit in the timeline, huh?
You watch a shit ton of movies, right?
Yeah, I watch a lot of movies.
I also try to go to the theater as much as possible. It's really fun in Japan. It's nice. Dude, you'd love, I don't know if you have this in America, before you talk about movies. When you go to the theater in Japan, you get your popcorn, you get your drink, and you get this tray, and it has like a drink slot, and it goes in the drink holder.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a tray, and you can like swing it around. Dude, it's
we
awesome.
don't have that here, but that's pretty cool.
I know, when I had this, I was like, this is like a game
Japanese
changer.
ingenuity, man.
This is nuts. Like, you can fit so much stuff, and I don't have to carry it. Okay, what do you think is like one of the best movies you've watched in like recent memory?
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
What would you say it is?
Yeah.
It's tough as well because I get it in Japan. So the release schedule is fucked. Like, some movies come out at the same time. Some come out like 8 months later, and I don't even realize.
That's true. Or if it's Detective Pikachu, we got it first for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh fuck, recent memory. What's a really good
weird.
movie I watched?
I can tell you the best, worst movie I've ever seen. It
What?
came out this year. It's called Moonfall. Anyone seen Moonfall? No.
No.
It's a disaster movie where the moon mysteriously gets out of orbit and it's going to crash into Earth.
You went to the theaters to watch that?
Yep, it is without a doubt the best experience I've ever had. It is a 2.5-hour ride.
2.5 hours.
And it feels like 20 minutes. I was upset it wasn't longer. It was so impressively bad in every aspect you could imagine, but in all of the right ways. It was magic.
What was it? Just like what made it like bad? Just like the acting.
Legitimately
or-
everything about that movie was bad, but really beautifully bad.
Right.
Like, I don't want to spoil
I
anything,
need to watch it.
but
now.
everything
I'm
happens.
not gonna watch it.
You should watch it.
I kinda
Really?
wanna watch
You
it.
should absolutely
Okay.
watch it.
Those are like my favorite type of movies.
No,
Yeah, right.
What's your favorite bad movie then? Like the classics, like The Room and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
Room, obviously. Oh man, like Trolls 2,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's all
What
the classics.
about Breen? Was it Niall Breen? No,
Neil Breen.
Neil Breen.
I Am Here Now, Double
his are
Down,
classics.
Twisted Pair. Yeah.
You know them all?
I've
God
watched
damn.
them all.
God.
I am a bad movie sommelier. I watch all of the turbo shitty movies.
Yeah.
And Moonfall is the best bad movie.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And that came out this year?
Came out this year.
Who's
Is it still in theaters or is it?
No, it's on Prime now. So
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name, like the main character. Like he's a big actor, But the guy from Game of Thrones that plays Sam is in it, right?
Yeah.
Samuel Tully.
Yeah.
He's in it, and it's directed by Roland Emmerich, who does like Day After Tomorrow, 2012.
Oh,
Yep.
They're just disaster
I thought he gave
movies.
up on disaster movies.
No,
I didn't know he made a new one. God damn.
And he was so proud. He said that because this movie flopped.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why, but it didn't do well, shockingly. And he was so salty. He's like, it's because of those fucking Marvel movies. No one knows how to make a good movie anymore, like Moonfall.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so good.
I think out of all the films I've watched this year in the theater, I want to say 60% or 50% I didn't really enjoy that much.
Yeah.
That's
Or
fair.
I was kind of like, it's fine.
A lot of them are Marvel movies.
A lot of the Marvel ones I watched this year, I thought were like, okay, that was a Marvel movie. I did it. Top Gun was surprisingly good.
Top Gun was good.
That's probably the best one I watched this year. I can't think what else came
Everything
out.
Everywhere.
Oh,
That
Everything
was
Everywhere
good.
was really
That was
good as
really
well.
good.
Unfortunately, it didn't come out in cinemas in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you had to get it on
So I
streaming.
watched it online. I'm trying to think what else came out this year.
Did the
that was
Batman
really
come
good.
out this year?
I really like the Batman. These guys didn't really like it that much.
Do you rate the Batman?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with
Robert Pattinson.
Robin Pattinson.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
watched Good Time?
No, I haven't watched The Lighthouse either yet.
Good Time is one of my favorite films ever. Watch it. Have you watched Uncut Gems?
Yes, that's great.
It's Uncut Gems but with Robert Pattinson and even more anxiety.
Oh, perfect.
So it's
How old is
so
it?
good. 2017.
Oh, so it's still
19?
pretty new.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's really good. It was when he was doing this binge of like weird films that you know, he was doing.
It was like, guys, I'm not that Twilight guy anymore, you know. And he went through that
He's
phase.
really good.
Yeah, he is really, really
I'm
good.
He was
obsessed.
going
There's a reason
down
I'm
the
obsessed with
the
him.
Daniel Radcliffe route of like doing all the weird art house films.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guns Akimbo was not very good.
Swiss Army Man, though.
Oh, Swiss
was-
Army Man is an
Oh.
amazing film. Love
I've
that.
never seen that. Is it as weird as it looks from like the trailers and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucking weird, but it's so good.
Oh my
I can't
God.
explain, like, it's just something about a perpetually farting dead body of Daniel Radcliffe is the funniest thing in the world. And it's like done in like, and it's told in like kind of a serious tone, right? And it's just like, it's amazing. I thought I was gonna hate it.
He's made his bank.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
He's just chilling.
He just does what he wants to do.
He's just
He's
like,
doing whatever the fuck
I'll
he
do
wants
whatever
now,
I
to make
want.
Isn't he just doing a lot of theater now? That's
Yeah, he does a lot of theater
Yeah.
like
stuff.
musicals and
Like
stuff like
musical
that.
work,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good on
East
him,
End
man.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, good on him.
Okay, what is the worst anime you've watched as of late?
So I've been on this. I started this a couple months ago. I wanted to watch every shitty anime ever made to find the definitive worst one.
Yeah.
Good luck
So
with that.
I mean, I did Heaven, Helter,
Oh, Skelter Heaven?
Skelter Heaven.
Skelter
Thank
Heaven,
you. Yeah.
You watch Mars of Destruction?
Yeah, I watched Mars of
Of course,
Destruction.
of course.
Gazi's Wing?
I haven't gotten there yet. That one's above
Oh,
that.
Gazi's Wing's a
Gazi's
classic.
Wing. I think you'd love Gazi's Wing in dub. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, in dub. Yeah, you gotta watch it in
Yeah,
dub.
a lot of the shows are shittier in dub.
Yeah.
I watched the Abunai Sisters. Abunai
Oh, I'll be nice.
Yeah.
Wow, what a throwback.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Funny thing about Gazi's Wing, do you know who made it?
No.
The creator of Gundam.
Really?
I'm 100% serious. Yeah.
Wow, I did not
The
know
creator
that.
of Gundam made
What the
Gazi's Wing.
fuck?
And it's
What
fucking
happened?
amazing, huh? I don't know.
What was he on?
I don't know. Honestly, watch Gazi's Wing. It's only 3 episodes. It's like, to me, it's the room of anime. You know,
Oh,
where
100%,
It's
yeah.
like so bad that it's good.
So what's the worst one you've seen out of everything so far?
I'm on X-Arm, and I've
Yeah.
been on X-Arm for over a month and a half. It's so fucking bad. It's like I'm determined to finish all of these awful anime.
Yeah, when the
But
trailer came out, everyone was like, what?
it's watching it is even worse. It's so bad. It's
Dude,
like a kid
I-
playing with action
I
figures.
couldn't get past like episode 2.
I'm on episode 3, and it's miserable.
Yeah.
I got
I'm
2
miserable.
episodes.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
I just want to find the worst one. Like I gotta
Surely if
know.
you can't finish it,
Yeah.
it's gotta be.
Right now it's X-Arm. So right now
Yeah.
the worst one I've seen is
Yeah.
X-Arm, and I'm
Yeah,
still
the
not.
problem
done.
with X-Arm is that it's not so bad that it's good. It's just bad.
It's just fucking
Yeah.
boring.
It's just bad and it's boring. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Which is
the-
a shame because like I've read the manga and it's actually not bad.
yeah.
It's just the anime adaptation. I don't know what the fuck happened. They just
I looked it up.
so hard.
I looked it up. They hired a guy who had never, like, the director had never done animation. They hired, like, someone who does real movies and, like, action
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And assumed he could make it work in animation.
Right.
And he couldn't. And
Well, yeah,
they
I mean,
just gave up.
obviously-
yeah, I can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's just for me the part that kills me with X-Arm is just like right from the first episode is the fact that like the main character is 3D while everyone else is
Yeah,
2D.
oh God.
It's the most
I haven't
jarring.
even watched
thing.
it.
Oh my
I just know
god!
I'm not gonna like it.
It
so
is
I
the
didn't
most
watch
Yeah.
jarring thing to watch.
It's so bad.
It's crazy.
Take some screenshots and these 2 characters are
Oh,
like,
yeah,
in
yeah,
different
I've
dimensions.
seen
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Why is that? Is there a reason or is it just lazy?
They had They had multiple studios doing it. So one of them that did X-Arm, I think, also did Elden Ring. Like they did some of the art for Elden Ring.
What? Really?
Yep.
So they're good.
Like the studio is good. I think it was Elden Ring. I looked it up. It has an interesting story actually on how it ended up being such a disaster.
Damn.
Just gave it to the intern.
Whatever. You know.
Whatever.
I think it was just like a perfect storm where
Probably.
nobody knew what they were working on.
They just kept getting different and conflicting directions from the upper level.
Yeah, and I think because I think was it a Crunchyroll original?
Yep.
No, they quickly brushed that under the rug. They were like, oh no, it's a.
I remember when the ads started rolling too, Crunchyroll made sure to tell you it was a Crunchyroll.
That's odd. Like, why did they not see it and just think, yeah, we should maybe not advertise this much?
That's what I always find most interesting because
they push it, right?
You know it's bad. Like there's no one there that knows that thinks it's good.
Maybe it's just like deals, like prior commitments.
It's got to be just
because no way would you be like, I think it's good to go. Promoting it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Like I would hate to be in that boardroom where they get the first trailer. They're like, we gotta air this.
They probably looked at them and was just like, oh yeah, so it looks really good. So I assume you're gonna do the finishing touches soon. And then someone's just like, it's coming out tomorrow.
This is a great first draft. Yeah, great first draft.
What?
These are great storyboards, guys.
Oh my god.
This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by Zenmarket. Guys, look at all the stuff we got from Japan. Ooh. Some of them aren't even available if you live outside Japan, but don't you want to get your hands on them?
Yeah.
Well, with Zenmarket, they can do exactly that for you.
And because the yen's drop in value right now, it is the perfect time to shop for expensive Japanese items.
It's only a 300 yen service fee, which is barely above $2.
Ooh.
Probably one by the time this airs.
And guys, you get free parcel consolidation. You can combine multiple items from different stores into just one parcel.
With multiple payment and shipping methods, Zenmarket has 1.5 million customers worldwide, and they have a new store, Rakuma, or Rakuten's Flea Market, where you can find rare and cheap items from all across Japan.
So sign up now and you'll get your first item with 0 service fee. So smash that link in the description down below. Back to the episode.
You asked earlier off camera, you're like, what are our worst anime takes? The ones that got people most riled.
What's got to be the hottest take that got the community fucking up in arms and mad?
In recent memory, have you watched 86?
Yeah, I actually liked 86. I haven't finished it, but I've been trying to.
I thought it was so fucking boring, and I said that on the podcast. People lost it. They were like, what do you mean? I just thought it was so slow, and it was preachy, and I was like, I don't care. I'm just over it. Are you judging me?
No, I don't mind. People can like things I don't like, or dislike things I do like. I handle it like an adult.
If only everyone in the anime community was like you,
right. I didn't even think that was a big hot take, though.
I remember people got really annoyed. It's
not as hot as mine.
Really annoyed.
What's yours?
Yeah.
You know Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah.
I thought it was mid as fuck.
No, see, this is one of those times where I can't be an adult. That's fucking bad. That is just like a wrong opinion.
That's not true.
That's just a wrong opinion.
Yeah. It's just wrong. It's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, how can you watch My Hero Academia and then look at Jujutsu Kaisen and be like, that's okay?
Dude, I didn't even get past season 1 of My Hero.
Because My Hero Academia sucks.
It's so bad. I can't stand
Do you
it.
know there was season 6?
Yeah, I caught up to watch season 6.
No, same here.
Why?
Because apparently this season's gonna be really good.
Yep.
According to manga readers.
They've been saying that every season.
Yeah.
Every season.
And I'm like, bet. Okay, like, manga readers, this is your last chance. If season 6 isn't good, I'm gonna fucking drop it. I swear to God.
Is it good?
I haven't started
Is season 5 good?
I've been on tour, mate.
Season 5 is terrible.
Season 5 is the worst season.
It's so fucking bad.
I remember Connor and I one day, we were just like, wait, there's 6 seasons of this shit? I thought it was still like season 4.
Yeah, I think I watched, I don't know when it was, one when they had like the gentleman and the little fucking girl.
That's the gentle criminal, that's season 5.
And then, I watched up to 5.
Yep, that's season 5.
I got there whenever they introduced them and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I was like, oh, we just derailed the whole plot to have some kind of like Scooby-Doo-esque side plot.
The whole show is like nothing but the worst parts of anime where they focus on like provisional exams for licensing. It's so boring.
And it's like, it's crazy because like 3-4 years ago, this show was the shit.
Yep, it was.
It was.
I remember when season 2 was airing, dude, especially like during the tournament arc. Oh my god, it was inescapable.
Dude, every single anime convention was everyone's cosplaying My Hero Academia. You just couldn't escape it, and then it just fell off a cliff. Season 3. No one spoke about it.
Fumbled so hard
because they had like this big villain, like, yo, dude, it's gonna be so deep, and then he like went halfway through the season and was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I guess like my hot take that I haven't said, I guess publicly, and this is actually
exclusive.
this was actually before Cyberpunk, the Cyberpunk anime aired.
Okay.
But I was like, I kind of think Trigger is a bit overrated.
Okay.
Really?
Just, yeah. This was before Cyberpunk, by the way. Before
now how do you feel about it?
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
Cyberpunk,
Amazing.
fucking amazing.
Amazing.
But it felt like before Cyberpunk, it just kind of felt like they just kind of they knew how they had like really, really good branding, but it felt like so long since they released like an absolute banger.
I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah,
Like,
BNA was good.
I thought BNA was so average.
BNA is what I felt like. It was like their practice for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
Did you watch BNA?
No, I actually didn't watch BNA.
Because they like did not promote it.
I feel though.
I've heard of it. I just didn't watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was decent. It wasn't like amazing.
Yeah,
or anything.
that's the thing with most Trigger shows. The only Trigger shows I really liked was Kill la Kill and
Look, Darling in the Franxx.
not Darling in the Franxx. Gridman.
You didn't like Premiere?
I thought. See the thing. I think it was decent, but I think it was
was
just.
good.
I think it's just like recycling the same formula all over
But that's
again.
the thing, right?
you know?
I feel Trigger is able to get away with a lot of shit that I think other studios would not be able to get away with because of their branding, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you see something ridiculous happen in a Trigger show,
Yeah.
and you know if it was any other studio, then people would be like, "What the fuck is this? Like, why derail it so much?" But if it's Trigger's doing it, then it's like, oh, that's just Trigger being Trigger.
Yo, if fucking Studio Bones or Ufotable release Inferno Cop, everyone will like fucking throw hands, man. I swear to God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because to those who haven't watched Cyberpunk, please go watch it.
Yeah.
There's because obviously it's Trigger. There's like a lolly character in it. Did you see this interview that they had with one of the? It was one of the CDPR people.
Right.
And they were doing a podcast where they were being interviewed about Cyberpunk.
Is it like Rebecca?
Yeah, about Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And apparently, when they first pitched the idea of Rebecca, Project Red were like, "What? We don't want a lolly. There's no lollies in Cyberpunk. What is this? Can you remove it?" And apparently Trigger was like, "No, the lolly stays. We don't do the show if the lolly isn't in." And I'm just like,
I refuse.
Could you imagine this like awkward ass like 12 meeting people with like translators and everything, and they say, "Hey, can we remove the lolly?" And they're like murmuring.
Yeah.
And they say it back, and then they're just like, "The lolly stays." It's just like, all right, okay, weird, all right. But I almost think that like you said, Trigger was kind of. I felt like the shows weren't that good, and I almost wonder if maybe because they had to collaborate a bit and kind of had to work with maybe some outside influence, that maybe it kind of maybe a bit of restriction sometimes make a better product.
No, I really. That's why I think Cyberpunk was so good.
It's good.
Like, I think working with CD Projekt Red, they've really like reeled them in, so they had to be more creative.
Yeah. Someone's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this shit? No, get rid of that. No, the girls cannot be wearing no clothes at all times. Come on."
Yeah, because I think seeing them really experiment with like the hyper violence and the gore was just like so fucking good and so.
Well, I mean, it was like
cool.
a throwback to like the old like production IG shit, right? That they
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
do, right? Because like I feel like when Trigger became Trigger, that's when they kind of like toned down on like the adult themes and stuff like that. Obviously, other than Kill la Kill, right?
Yeah,
Because like after Kill la Kill, everything was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is like
you like Kill la Kill?
It's pretty toned down.
It was alright. I didn't think it was like great, but it was alright.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what did you give Cyberpunk on your Moist Meter?
I gave it a 90.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cyberpunk
Nice.
was great.
Yeah.
The first opening, if you haven't watched it, the first opening scene is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And
It
like
is
the
great.
moment that first scene played, I was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be something fucking special."
Oh, it was episode
This
6
is
for me.
awesome. Oh, that was good as well.
Yeah,
Episode 6 is a masterpiece.
might be one of my favorite episodes of anime ever.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Have you seen the new Chainsaw Man anime yet?
Yep, I watched episode 1. It was
Me
good.
too.
It was
Yeah.
good.
What do you think of the?
Did you come in your pants?
Yeah.
It was a come in your pants good though.
It was very good. There was no soiled trousers, but it was good.
This is what I said.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a first episode.
Yeah.
Like it did what it needed to do. I don't think everyone made it seem like it was the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Came down to bless us with some anime waifus and chainsaws, and it was just like, all right. They hyped with all the animation and the budget or whatever the fuck, I don't know whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say budget. I got in trouble last time I said that.
Oh, that was an anime take.
that was
in trouble.
Did you ever see that?
No, what?
When I said that, Demon Slayer, I go on tangent now. When the Demon Slayer last season came out, and the last fight was insane. Did you see it? Like the animation was just.
Yeah.
And I tweeted out being like, dude, this budget is nuts. And then it unraveled into this whole thing where like a certain few people were like, yo, what the fuck? You can't call it budget. It's not about the budget. It's about the individual animators that work on it. This is spreading misinformation. And then I didn't say anything, and I just kind of left it. I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
And then like apparently one of the guys who was tweeting about it, some people tweeted back at him being like, yo, this is a joke, chill out.
Yeah.
And then apparently it all unraveled and they claimed they got swatted and stuff, and it
over
like,
you just saying the budget.
And then like the next day I woke up, people were like, this is unacceptable, he needs to address this. I'm like, I just said that they had a budget. Like, what the fuck happened? I was just like, what? That was just so surreal. It was so bizarre. Then I had to make a tweet. I had to make a tweet longer, being like, "Hey guys, it was a joke. Please don't get crazy. It's anime. Can we all chill the fuck out?"
Bro, you're lucky that those were just the anime fans. Could you imagine if Demon Slayer was a live-action TV series? They would have. Oh my god, you would be dead.
It's all hit squad.
It's all dead and buried now, but it was just so like, what? Like you look at it and you're like, this is the most Twitter moment ever.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds
when
like
it was
that's very
people,
much a Twitter moment.
Because you know how it is, like certain groups, they work each other up and then they're just out for blood and they get a little bit and they're like, yo, this is it.
Then they just keep like attacking it over and over again.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, there was an agenda here and it was just like weird. And I was like, I don't know what I did and what happened and this is weird. I don't know. Yeah, Twitter's a cesspit. Yep. But you got to be on it, right? Like you have no choice.
I'm always on it just because that's how I get like all the updates to shit and find things. It's like it's just such a quick source of information.
I mean, if you want to stay up to date with like drama or internet news,
oh yeah,
you got to be on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, remember the times where you saw a tweet longer and you didn't assume someone was getting like cancelled or apologizing? Holy shit!
It was just a long explanation.
Yeah, it was just a long explanation.
It's just like, you can't fit it in a single tweet. That's fine. I'll open it up. You're sure.
One thing I'm curious about as a creator who's been on the platform so long, because obviously sometimes you do cover drama. How is it sometimes, let's say, if like drama happens with someone that maybe you have connections to, or maybe you're like close ties to, or maybe even, you know, maybe sometimes you're like, is it okay if I talk about this? Like, you know, like how do you handle that? Because something that I've always like stayed away from ever talking about shit publicly, about even if there's drama happening.
I think all three of us.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I'm like, what if this like somehow like they bounce back and they remember me being an asshole and I'm the piece of shit who said something, even though it was totally, you know what I mean? I'm like always like, I don't know. How do you deal with that?
I don't know. It's all impulsive. Like I don't really give it a lot of thought. Like if it's like some goofy drama, I'll usually just be like, well, this is why it's goofy. This is goofy. This is what they're doing, and this is what happened.
Yeah.
I never really think like if there's any like angle that could have been worked or something like that.
That's good.
I also feel like with the way you address a lot of that kind of stuff in your videos, you're very articulate with it. First of all, but I feel
through dicks and shit.
Dicks and ass.
Through dicks and ass. They're very articulate, but like I feel in a lot of ways you're also I don't know if you're trying to consciously do this, but I feel in a lot of ways you're very like neutral and fair about the situation. Like you kind of just like say it how it is and like these are the facts, this is what's happening, here's like my tiny little 2 cents, and then that's it kind of thing, right? Like you don't really like, you know, pick a side blatantly.
Usually, unless it's something that I like have a very strong opinion of.
Right.
Like, for example, like the pink sauce lady. She was on a talk show. She was on a talk show.
If you were on the other side, then I think everyone would have been like, what the fuck?
There are times where I'll pick a side. Like,
of course.
This, from reading or learning about all this.
But you didn't know the pink sauce lady personally.
I can't say I really knew it all that well.
That shit was vile.
Yeah.
That looks
disgusting.
Oh my God. That looked worse than the shit that we cooked on that live
stream.
Pretty aged better.
But I feel if it's with like, you know, drama concerning like a fellow content creator, for example.
Oh, like someone I know.
Yeah, like someone you know, I feel you're very good at kind of being neutral about it.
Yeah, trying to
as best as you can.
I mean, fucking Twitch every week.
Oh my God.
Pretty much I'll be out of friends, it seems. There's not a whole lot left. Everyone's always getting tossed into something.
Is there even any point covering it? Because you're like, this is just not new. Like, this
only if it's, I usually only cover it if it's entertaining or if it's something that I'm like feeling strongly about. Like if it's like a serious situation where it's like, I have a pretty strong opinion on what's going on here, I'll cover it. But then other times where if it's like, without getting like too specific, like someone going through like a mental health episode and broadcasting it, I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but I feel what's good is that you have like such a big variety of content that you don't need to like pressure yourself to make content about drama or stuff like that. Because I mean there are like so many like commentary drama channels on YouTube now. Like I swear there's like entire channels which is the genre is let's like take this one tweet and like make a fucking video about it, you know?
Well, I've definitely done that. Like, I've seen some dog shit tweets. Like, I couldn't help it.
Was it the Seth Rogen one that one time?
Oh,
I love that one.
So
Did you see this one?
What was that one?
The one that Seth Rogen was like, why are you complaining about your car being broken
Yeah, it
into?
was.
It happens all the time.
Casey Neistat made a tweet. He's like, my fucking car got broken into.
ages ago.
I hate LA. Seth Rogen replied to it. He's like, why are you upset? LA's one of the best cities on earth. You just have to know if you park your car outside, you're gonna get broken into. My car's been broken into 15 times. They even left me a treat one time. So he's like,
and he was fully serious.
He was 100% serious.
He was not
Oh my god.
It was the worst fucking tweet I've ever read.
I love that tweet.
It's
I love that
so
tweet so
unreal.
much. Out of touch celebrity tweet.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, one question I've always wanted to ask you is concerning YouTube, right? So, your lack of thumbnails. Is that by choice?
Too.
Yeah, and I just don't give it a lot of thought, and I don't stretch them on purpose for what it's worth.
Yeah. Some of the ones I see, and I'm like, that has to be like a Photoshop edit.
No, it's never. So I use Sony Vegas. Any Sony Vegas
Hell
fans?
yeah, hell yeah.
You see that?
We're
Yeah,
terrible.
do you see that?
We are terrible.
Yeah,
we are inferior. Like we
Still see
legitimately.
Premiere Pro using
Listen,
it.
this is why I don't edit my videos. It's like use Sony Vegas. I don't know how to edit.
So in Sony Vegas, you'll know when you put in an image. Sometimes it gets those black bars on the side, and it looks like shit.
So you just stretch.
I click
Stretch it and then screenshot.
I click. I untick maintain aspect ratio. It stretches it for me, and then I save the screenshot.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
You gotta fucking zoom it in, Charlie.
No, that's dumb.
So you put like 10% more effort than pros use. He told us that he just picks one of the three.
I used to do that. I used to, but
Yeah.
I stopped because now for some reason YouTube's really fixated on those auto-generated thumbnails on the goofiest shit. Like when my eyes are closed, it's like
He rolls with it. He's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it.
no, he's
And
got a great philosophy.
I know.
He does,
Hearing
he
him
does.
talk about it is like, all right, I like this. This makes sense.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Yeah, I love the whole low effort thumbnail thing. I love it so much.
It's really cool.
I should start doing that. Important in Sony Vegas.
Yeah, I would say just untick maintain aspect ratio. You'll see the light. You'll be like, wow, that looks fucking good.
So wait, what are you putting in there? The video or like a screenshot or something?
So I'll just take like a screenshot of the video, but it takes those black bars on the sides, so then
Yeah.
I'll bring it in and untick the.
Why can't you just open up the video in like VLC and just screenshot
That makes no sense. Now you're speaking not. He doesn't even know how Sunny Vegas works. Am I right?
Well, even if it's a fucking like vertical phone video, you just like fucking blow it. Like fuck the aspect ratio.
I'm gonna look at your channel right now.
Could you imagine if Prosy D did that shit? Just like all of his videos, just like him wide as fuck. Like that would be
I'm
amazing.
going. This is awful. Some of them are so stretched. What is this DJ Khaled almost died one?
I love that one.
It's so stretched.
I couldn't. So that one was
You
unlucky.
didn't even get it.
That one was on when I unclicked maintain aspect ratio. It
wouldn't
couldn't
even
fill it
refuse.
out.
It refused.
Sony Vegas was like, I can't, bro. I can't, even I can't do this,
That
man.
one was a little too much. For even the power of Vegas couldn't make work.
Wait. So do you? Okay, I know. Obviously, this is. Do you make all your own thumbnails? Make is a strong word. Do you make all your own thumbnails?
Almost all of them. If it's a bigger project like Godslap or something,
Yeah.
they'll do a thumbnail. Or like podcast. they
Right,
do
right,
a
right.
voice
Yeah.
meter.
Damn. And you edit your own videos still sometimes?
All of them that aren't like the bigger projects. Yeah.
So just the ones of you in your room talking about something.
You're
Damn.
insane.
It's really not much work. Like it's
Yeah,
it's a
but
lot
the
more
fact
credit.
that you can just commit to that and do it.
Yeah, and the fact that you
that's
upload
impressive.
60 videos a month as well. Like, if it was like once a week, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, not much extra effort, right? But you're doing it like almost every day.
And it's pretty quick though. It's like what you guys do with the podcast. You just talk.
Pretty
You just
chill.
talk at a camera, and then like the editing's pretty simple. You just cut. Like you just put the things together.
But we don't touch
If
that.
you tell an editor that, he might be like, how
Well, no, I mean like
Thanks,
for
Mudan.
me. Like, for me, that's what I do. Like if it's just talking, I just splice it, and then.
I mean, if you asked me to edit this podcast, I'd be like, fuck that.
a podcast is harder because you have to sync everyone's audio and everything. and then
Right,
so-
right.
Yeah, whenever we say anything, he throws it up. That's awful. And we have like the whole timestamps and everything. He does that. He's a beast.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
Absolute machine.
Shout out Mudan.
Thank you very much, Mudan.
Episode 100 where we thank Mudan for keeping this podcast alive.
Oh my God.
But I'm glad you still use Sony Vegas. I'm one of the few people I know, few YouTubers who still use Sony Vegas.
There's 4 of us now. It's the 3 of us and then Tuv. Tuv makes a lot of like dark content, like surrounding like Twitch moments or stalkers and stuff like
Right.
that. We have 4 Sony Vegas users now, baby.
All 4.
I feel
It's like the Fisher Price of editing software.
yeah, it is.
Like,
Okay.
it legitimately is. Like it is designed for literal like 10-year-olds to use. Because like none of the stuff makes sense professionally, but if you're literally doing the bare minimum, it's the easiest.
Yep.
Do you want to be a YouTuber? You must face the elite 4 of Vegas
And,
users.
and when you're starting out, it is really easy to get for free.
It's so easy. It's so easy. I feel so bad because I do actually like hire editors sometimes, right? And obviously they use shit like Premiere Pro and
'cause
stuff
they're
like
editors.
that.
Yeah, because they're
They
editors.
take their
Yeah.
job seriously.
Because they're editors, and I feel bad because I still have like a hand in the editing process. So what I'll do is I'll get them to render out the video, I render out the audio separately, and then I re-edit it in Sony Vegas.
Oh my god.
I don't do that. That's
Bro,
cruel. That's cruel.
bastardization.
That's chaotic.
God, I hate editing.
sorry,
videos
editing
so
team.
much.
Yeah.
Bro, it might,
you know.
might be time to change, man.
Do you enjoy editing, or is it just
No,
like
no.
I hate it so much.
It's not fun. Editing is not fun. It's just not. It simply isn't.
It can be fun if you have like an actual good editing
No,
project. you know.
I don't.
Well, like if it's, I'd say if it's not you directly, like if you're editing your own thing, I feel like it's just.
Oh fuck!
It's just
fuck
not
that
fun.
shit.
Oh,
Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
It's just I do it. It's done.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
It's quick. It's easy.
Yeah.
I definitely see like it being fun for like a bigger project if you've got like some project that you're like have a hand in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
working
Right.
on, it's much better.
Yeah,
Yeah, what I like is like having like big fun projects,
Yeah.
and I get my editing team to do like the bulk of the work, and
Well,
I
there's
do
a lot
like
of
the fun
creative-
little bits that I
Yeah,
enjoy.
you get creative expression as an
Yeah,
editor
yeah,
or
yeah,
something
exactly,
like that.
exactly. Yeah, right.
I hate
Ever
it.
Connor?
The moment I could have, was able to afford an editor, I was like, I'll go broke. I do not want to do this. It's just not fun. It would make videos that should have been like 2 days, like 2 weeks. Because I would just procrastinate. I'd be like, oh, I'll play another game of League. I did one like chroma key or one keyframe. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the day. Awful stuff.
What games are you into now? What games are you currently playing?
Been doing a lot of Overwatch.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, Overwatch 2.
Is it good?
It's a lot better. So they took out a player, so it's 5v5, which
Yeah, I
means
heard,
one less
yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. So the game's like actually fun now.
Can they come back after all the controversy they had?
I don't think it'll ever be an esport again. Like I think the esport scene I think is fucked. Like there's really
Yeah.
I don't think there's much they can do
They
there.
should just appeal to the porn community. I think that's the way to go.
It's huge. The porn community is massive.
I feel like if they just cater towards that, just keep giving them characters they can make porn of, I think it'll stay around. I think that's the problem. They started making robots and shit, and it just was not doing it for like. You know.
That's what Nier Automata did, right?
Yeah. I mean, some of the most talented 3D artists and animators I know are all doing fucking porn. I swear to God.
Overwatch.
It's insane how good it looks, man.
Dude, that Widowmaker and Diva porn was
Yeah.
like better than anything Pixar ever put out. Like it was shocking.
Everything from that community is on another level of quality.
It's like the Pentagon comes together to like bring all their processing power to make 20-second loop of Widowmaker getting rammed. Like it's insane.
And let's not forget, Tifa is now officially part of Italian law.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this?
That shit
At the
went
meeting,
hard.
That was legendary. That was so good.
Just one of my favorite meme videos I saw recently was just like the history of Italy, and it's just like the entire like a quick like PNG of like the entire history of Italy. Then there's one frame of Tifa at the end, just in the Senate, and that just perfectly encapsulates it.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I mean, if any country's going to do it, it's probably Italy. They had like a prime minister, like, I don't know, like 2 prime ministers ago that would openly talk about having orgies and stuff.
Was that Italy? I know who you're talking about. I don't think it was.
Berlusconi.
Holy
He would
shit.
talk about having orgies all the time. He's like 70. He was insane, dude. I don't know why Italians loved him. Like, he would talk about orgies and they'd be like, yeah, dude.
What an alpha male.
I'm fucking voting for that guy. This guy is insane. Like, you hear him talk, you're like, this is not someone who should be running. This guy should be managing a Denny's at best. Like, this is not prime minister material.
Italian Hugh Hefner running the fucking country.
I suppose because that's the top of Italian priority. Like fucking. Like that's it. That's it. Like everything else is second. Like maybe like pasta or something. I don't know. Like,
That's a second.
the economy is
Fuck
like
first,
way
pasta
down
second.
there.
Economy third.
No, not even, dude. Not even. What is the best state in the US?
Oh, it's Florida. I mean, it's great state.
Did you travel out much to other
Nope,
states?
not at all.
You said earlier, I think, before the show, you said you've been to like Texas and stuff, right?
Yeah, Texas is nice. I really like Texas. Texas is like a Florida with better weather.
Is that the furthest you?
No, I've been out of the country once. I went to Canada when I was a kid. It's not like a cool story. I mean, I guess it's a cool story. Right. I went skiing on the same hill that Liam Neeson's wife died on. But I went there like a year before it happened.
Oh, right.
It's not a cool story, I guess. It's like,
it's a pretty morbid story.
It's a pretty morbid story.
And then they won't let you back into Canada.
They did. Now I can't go back. Yeah.
So, I mean, do you ever talk about, because obviously I think it's well known that you have like a fear of flying.
Yeah.
Do you talk about that much?
No, only when it comes up. I just don't fly.
How did that like fear develop? I guess.
Therapist. Tell me about it.
Tell me what you were
How did it all start?
Yeah.
I don't know when that started, but the other day I told the group here, I'm also like a legitimate hypochondriac, and I know exactly where that started. My doctor, before I went to high school, made a big song and dance out of the meningitis shot because you needed it to go to the high school.
Okay.
And I was like, up until this point, I was pretty carefree. I'd like eat worms. I'd jump in lakes.
Yeah, of course.
And then my doctor, when he was told to give me the meningitis shot, he's like, I'm not doing that. It's going to paralyze your son. Like your son's going to die from this.
Was you like a crazy doctor?
He was fine all the way up until this point. And he told me, he said that in front of me. And I was like, what does he mean? Mom, is this gonna kill me? and so I went home and I'm like Googling these things. Yeah, it was horrifying. I Googled all these things about like the side effect, like Guillain-Barré syndrome or something, where I guess is what he was talking about.
Was he like some kind of like conspiracy?
He must have been. And then from that point forward, I was afraid of everything. I still got the shot, but I was afraid.
Was fucking traumatized?
Yeah, he legitimately gave me hypochondria for life.
To be fair, if a doctor tells you this shit at a young age,
how old are you in that?
It was right before high school. I would have been going on 14.
Fuck! That would have scared the fuck out of me.
That would have fucked me up.
I hadn't thought about that for years until the other day I brought it up to the team. I was like, that's absolutely where that started.
Damn.
That's totally understandable.
I don't know where the plane stuff started, though. I remember watching Flight of the Phoenix when I was a kid, where the plane crashes in the desert and they kill each other. It's like, fuck, that's scary. But I don't know if that's where it started.
That could be me. Damn. Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, you obviously love so much, like, Japanese, like, media and content, stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's somewhere in your head where you're like, I really fucking want to just, like, suck it up and go to Japan, right?
Just put
me down.
This is such a long flight.
12 hours.
I'd be like an anesthesiologist to keep me under. Like, it's a long flight.
So what I'm hearing is if there's some way that you can get there, like while being drugged, you'll do it.
Yeah. I think it'd be great. Like, I think it'd be a really fun trip to
Dude, you would love it.
You would.
You'd have a field day with all the shit you can find there.
Oh my god, it is an absolute content gold mine.
Yeah.
Especially for you. Like, you'd find so much weird shit to make content.
We've all been talking about it too. Like, we've all wanted to make that trip. It's just, for me, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like a fear, it's a fear, right?
Yeah,
like, it's not so simple to be like, obviously I know it's not going to crash, but it's like, I don't think that. I think it's. I hate it. I don't want to be up there. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter how many little information tidbits of like, oh, if you didn't die in the car crash on the way to the airport, then you've survived the deadliest car shit. It's like
so tired of hearing that. Oh my
Don't be scared, Charlie. Come on.
Oh my god.
You're putting yourself in danger more every single day in a car than you are on a plane. And it's like, okay, easier said than done, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people would ask us all the time, like, when are you going to get Charlie on? We're like, well, we have a very strict policy. And like, it has to be in person. And people just wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
And we're like, well.
So we have to make our way here.
Exactly. So Charlie made us come all the way to Tampa, Florida. It's awesome being here. But no, I mean, like, it's a lot. It's a, and it's
like you couldn't be further from Japan, right?
No,
is the thing.
I'm just praying for like another Pangea where everything comes together.
Dude, I do not want to be close to Florida. Are you kidding me?
You make the drive across.
I'll drive across. Even if it's like a 5-day drive, I'm on land.
Florida just breaks off from the rest of America and floats its way towards Asia.
So, do you ever get like a bit sad? You're like, fuck, I'll probably never like see Europe.
I do think about that. I'm not like a big outdoorsy guy. Like, seeing sights is cool, but it's not something like top of mind.
All right.
But with Japan in particular, it's like so many things that I know are like exclusive to there that I won't be able to do if I don't go.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. That one's like actually tough. That and Sweden. Sweden seems like another really cool spot to be.
Why Sweden?
Why Sweden?
Because like DreamHack and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just seems like a really cool spot with a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Where's the furthest you have traveled? And is it
Just
Canada?
Canada,
Just
yeah.
Canada. Okay.
Canada's
skiing
nice.
trip.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, Canada's really nice. Did you drove there, I assume?
No, I actually flew.
This is before you were scared.
Yeah.
No, like I was scared then too.
Yeah.
But like I have sucked it up and flown. I flew to Dallas like 2 months ago now.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
But it's just really
It's a lot.
hard.
Yeah. I know there's a few friends of mine where it's like they have to, like they will fly, but it's like they have to do like 50 things before just to like calm themselves. And if they don't do all of those things, they won't get on the plane.
Jesus.
And it'll be like weird things. It'll be like, you know, you have to wear the right pair of socks because that's what they've convinced themselves, right? Like that's, and it's obviously they, and it's not that like they're dumb. They know that it's irrational and they know that it doesn't make sense.
They just can't do anything
But in
about
your
it.
mind, it's just like you think that like you have to do this. And if you don't do it, you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
And even then getting on the plane is terrifying. Or like doing this certain thing or going to the doctor to get the shot, right? It's like, it's different for everyone. Our minds are fucking weird.
Yeah.
They do not work well.
Oh, and I'm not anti-vax, by the way, with the whole shot thing. Get the shot. I get all my shots just fine. It's just hypochondria with germs and
Bro, meningitis in my university, someone died from meningitis.
Christ.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't get the shot.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, I'm glad I took this. Because they tell you it's super serious. And you're like, I never fucking heard of this disease. Why is no one talking about it?
Someone at my university got measles.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, we had a guy get measles.
I think it's going to see a big uptick.
It's coming. It's coming back. It's coming back. I'm telling you.
Unfortunately.
Measles is on the come up.
Oh, man.
Those stocks are up.
It's sad.
It is very
really
sad. It is very sad.
Yeah, you're in like the epicenter. You're going to be seeing the bubonic plague first, I think.
We'll be fine down here though. Like we're tough. We're in Florida. we'll be fine.
No, you're like the New York Rats, right? Like it's like you develop so well, but it's like, oh God, what happened? Like you're like, it's like impossible to get rid of you. You're like, what have we created?
Like cockroaches, like just survive everything.
Yeah.
It's like Ninja Turtles, just like views. It's just like,
Bro, British people could not survive hurricanes and shit like that and floods. Bro, we're done. We're done if the sun is out. Like we're like shit.
True.
All right.
Yeah, you guys have like darkness for most of the time, right? Like it's always rainy.
Rainy and cloudy.
It's mostly grey. Actually, I realized this the other day when I was back in England and it was raining. I was depressed, and I realized
I like that.
you love that, but I realized only in England do I find rain really depressing. In a lot of other places, I kind of like dig it. It's kind of like a vibe sometimes.
It fits.
In Japan, I kind of like the rain in Japan.
but that's because everything in Japan is aesthetic.
That's true. That's true.
Well, that's why all the lo-fi goes with it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking around.
If you're in Tokyo and it starts raining, you just put some lo-fi on and that's a vibe now.
Yeah, it
You know,
totally
you can't do
is.
that in England.
Yeah.
You like the clear umbrella as well.
The clear umbrella so you can see the
shit,
rain.
Dude, it's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep.
That's the jam right there.
Oh my God. Have you ever tried learning another language? I'm curious.
I tried learning Japanese. I took an entire semester in college.
Really?
Oh.
Yep. It didn't go super well.
Not a big language guy.
Yeah, it was tough.
We suck. We're not great.
We suck right now.
I can only remember a few things. I tried. They taught us kanji. I can't do that anymore.
They taught you kanji?
Yep. They taught.
Why?
Damn, in the one semester?
Yep. They
want you to
tried to
quit?
cram so much in that one.
That's just stupid.
How many kanji?
Not much. It was they did.
Mountain.
There's like 3, right? It's kanji, katakana, and hiragana.
Yeah,
They did all 3 in that semester. They tried to teach us like a little bit of all
That
of it.
seems. I feel like it's pointless teaching kanji.
Yeah, it was. That's why I don't remember any of it. It was just like too much.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember is how to say like, "What is your telephone number?" Which is, I think it's anotoa denwa bango nan desu.
You got it. Now you can pick up a girl in Japan.
See, like, I'm equipped to survive in Japan.
Yeah. Oh my.
That's the only thing that stuck with me in that entire semester.
You'll learn all these kanji, and then like 80% of the kanji you see are just bridge and mountain.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time.
Pretty
on the
much.
Yeah, obviously there's way more, but 90, like so many of them are bridge and mountain. I think it's just Yama.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just don't see how effective that could be in trying to learn all of that in one semester.
No. I mean, you'd probably have a better time just like, watching anime with the subtitles
probably,
off.
I feel like I've got more out of that. Like
It's pretty more immersive.
I know Sugoi.
Yeah. And Obaka.
Tene.
Bakana.
A little more from hentai as well.
Yeah, hentai's good.
hentai's
Bible
useful.
Black taught me a lot.
The School of Bible Black. Only Bible I read.
Have you ever seen the dub of Bible Black?
Love it. It's
that's so good.
I only watched the double Bible Black recently, maybe like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm so upset at myself that it took me this long to watch it.
So good.
It's
Have
so
you watched
funny.
a lot of the really shitty hentai dubs? The official
I've
ones?
watched a few of them. I've watched Bible Black, and then I've watched that one where the professor, I don't remember exactly what
I
it is,
know
but
the one-
the professor's
You
like,
fucking bitch shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
I'm squeezing on your supple breasts in the janitor's closet. or whatever.
Yeah, I know the one. That
yeah.
one's good. There's so many. There's like a medieval one where like there's a woman with like F-sized tits. It's so funny. And she's like, I'm sorry, I killed your granddad by suffocating him with my tits. And it's just like, and she delivers it straight, and the whole dialogue is like, it's so funny.
Those are the best. I love those.
It's an entire like gold mine of just hentai
So
dubs.
good. Oh,
it's so funny.
90% of them, they turn it into like from a hentai to a comedy. you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It's
Much better than the shitty anime. Much better.
better.
Way more entertaining as well, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, because it's basically just like porn acting, right? Like it's hilarious. It's supposed to be serious, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, I guess because it's like they took this Japanese script and they're like, oh, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Let's just make it better. Let's just make our own.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck
make
is
it
this?
funnier.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time the licensing deals in those are like not as strict as the others. Or at least back then they were. I think they're strict now.
yeah.
I guess they still dub hentai sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I haven't heard like a modern dub hentai.
I get the casting calls sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you taken them?
No.
Absolutely take those.
Yeah.
I am never the main. I am never the character.
You're never the
Think about the
character.
guys. My voice just doesn't. I'm not the nerdy kid with the hair down, and I'm not the ugly bastard.
You should do it.
I am
you should
not
do
doing
it
an ugly
anyway.
bastard.
You should do it anyway.
if
Forward
I-
it to me, I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Dude, if I had that casting call, I'd 100%
Yeah.
I'll be
take
like,
it.
That is
hey,
such a good opportunity.
I can't do this one, but I know a guy who might be.
Yeah, you can play the ugliest bastard on the planet.
No, I know
Yeah.
you'd like it because the moment it comes out, you're like, I peaked in civilization, the fattest cheeked anime.
I would love that so much.
That would be on your bio.
That's going on the IMDb.
Ugliest bastard
Yeah.
in hentai.
Because I remember like a lot of like OG voice actors used to use pseudonyms doing like hentai work. So I remember like I remember like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Yami Yugi.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
guy who did Professor Oak.
Yeah,
Did a lot of
they've
hentai.
both been in hentai, and they have such distinctive voices.
It's literally Professor Oak.
Yeah, yeah, it's-
And
yeah.
it's the official
Which one is it? I want to watch it. now.
There's one about like this. It's this weird like 4-part. Because I found it. It's just fucking weird. It's about like these like shamans, and they're like taking these girls, kidnapping them, then fucking them. But then they have like a Master Roshi type and it's just really weird. And they keep kidnapping these girls. It's so bizarre. Send it to you.
Yeah,
You'll
just
love
send it to me. I
Yeah,
wanna
it's
watch it.
so weird. It's exactly what you expect of like a weird ass hentai.
Yeah.
And what's that one with the one where she's like, oh, my tits are torpedoes as well? There's that.
Oh, I've actually seen that clip.
That's like Mother's
Yeah.
Milk or something. I think it's
Yeah.
called. That one.
Mother's milk.
I think that's what it's called. They all, and I asked this to the people who made them. I asked them why the English names for the Japanese ones, like the mid-2000s hentais, were so like porn-esque.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, apparently it just sold better. Like when they renamed it to like, when they gave them shitty porn title names, they sold so much better than when they gave them literal translations.
Well, yeah, because they probably looked at like a title like Mother's Milk and was like, I have to fucking watch this.
Yeah, like Mother Knows Breast.
Yeah, like Mother Knows Breast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was not the original title.
No,
at all.
no.
Like the Japanese titles are like love story between mother and son.
Yeah,
It's like
something
no,
like
no,
that.
no one fucking wanted to do this. What are you on about? I don't want to watch this.
I think the weirdest thing I've seen that is just like, childhood ruin moment was, it wasn't a hentai, but I remember there was an AIDS advert, right?
Okay.
And, okay.
Where is this going?
And in this aid campaign, right, to inform people about AIDS.
Yeah.
In the UK?
Yeah.
Or-
No, in America.
Oh, okay.
They
Of course.
hired the voice actors of Shinji and Asuka from Evangelion.
What?
And so you hear in this, and it's like a audio campaign, right?
Yeah.
And so there's this scene in this campaign about two people having sex,
Yeah.
and it's like it is just Shinji and Asuka having sex. Basically, it's just
on
Evangelion sex, like ASMR.
Oh my
It's
God.
it's like I remember hearing that, and I'm like, oh my God, I can never look at Ava the same again.
shit.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, have I never heard of that?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
recording's on YouTube.
Oh
it's
my
English
God.
voice actors. So
Oh,
you're
I
like,
need to
oh,
watch
whatever.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Holy crap.
Do you do a lot of voice acting? You did some for some games, right?
I've done some. I'm not very good. I love doing it, but I'm just pretty bad.
We both did. What was that game where it was like a tabletop kind of like card game.
The dungeon game.
That game was like good.
It's a good game.
But then no one played it.
I can't remember the name of it though.
I mean, how good we are. We
put on the screen, Moodon.
Yeah.
It was a fun.
No, because Moodon's going to message me. This is what happens. We say put it on the screen, and then he messages me asking what it was, and I'm like, I don't know, because I would have said it in the episode. It's pretty on IMDb.
Look up Charlie's IMDb. It's probably on there.
Yeah, dude, I poured my heart out for that. I did like 4 characters as well. I did so much work. And
I only did 1.
And like no one played it. I was like, no, because it was actually a good game. I played it. It was fun.
I did Lucius 3 though. Do you know that game?
No, what is Lucius?
That's how you just kill people as like a little devil child.
Oh yeah.
I voiced a character in there. It is the worst voice acting you'll ever hear in your life.
Have I seen this thing? I think I might have seen this.
Maybe. It's not that old. It's only like 3 years old.
What does the character look like that you voice?
A nerd. He looks very nerdy.
Maybe I've seen this.
Yeah.
And is it just like Charlie voice?
Yeah, did you use your normal voice?
In my defense, they didn't give me like direction for the character, so I just read it like I would.
Like a voice critical video.
If they're contacting you, they're probably wanting that voice, right? Like that.
But when you see it in the game, it's like
it doesn't seem right.
It feels like I did a dub of this character and they put it in.
I can just imagine playing the game and you get up to the nerd character and be like, "Hey Lucius, I really hope you still bully me. I don't really appreciate that." It's just like Charlie's voice.
That is.
I need to see this now.
Like when you're in something, it's like that's a character. When I'm in those games, it's like, why is Charlie being?
I don't know. It depends. It depends what I do. If I do the British thing, and people are like, I just can't unhear Connor, because if I ever do like just my normal voice, kind of more British, they're like, oh, he just talked.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. But it's like I'm pompous. Come on.
I'm pompous.
That's what you got to do. Instead of learning a new language, you got to like figure out like new accents.
Oh, different accents.
Yeah. Like if you do like a role in like a British accent, they won't be up. They'll probably hear less of Charlie.
True. I should have done that.
The problem with me is that I cannot not sound like myself.
Yeah, well, you two have that. You two have like very, very, very distinct voices, and it's very hard to hear anything else when you're changing your voice, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard you change your voice much.
I can't do it very well.
Yeah.
I can only do Scooby-Doo saying one line.
Go on.
Do it.
Oh, Reggie. That's all I got.
I mean, yeah, it works.
That's Scooby-Doo.
That's Scooby.
Yeah, whenever he voice acts, it just sounds like him.
Yeah, it does. I go into like my YouTuber voice.
You know, not every voice actor needs to sound different. I think it's a common misconception. You know, there are a lot of voice actors out there who just sound like the same character every time, but they're really good at acting and really good at making.
Oh, you know, like Sugimoto, like he's like one of the biggest Japanese voice actors. He sounds exactly the same in all of his roles, but people love that voice.
I mean, Johnny Young Bosch always sounds.
Johnny Young Bosch as well.
Has, like the protagonist voice. Steve Bloom just always sounds like Spike Spiegel. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that
he does.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, you know what we actually another thing that we both did. What was that movie you were in?
Last of the Grads?
Yeah. I was in that.
Wait, you were in Last of the Grads?
I'm the voice of the killer.
Holy fuck. I had no idea that was your voice. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
you did an American accent.
Yeah, it's an American accent.
Yeah,
they were like, so I got on the call with them because I don't know how it all came about. They asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, sure, because they were like, oh, Charlie's in it. I was like, Charlie's in it? All right, sure. Because you had like an actual role in it.
I was Officer Greg.
So I was like, oh, fuck it, sure, why not? How many lines can it be? I was like, sure, whatever. And they were like, so we want you to be the voice of the killer. And I was like, all right, cool. So I get on the call with them, we're about to do it. And I'm like, I start doing the lines, and they're like, oh, no, he's American. And I was like, oh, kind of wish you told me that like before, so I could like prep a little bit. And I was like, so whereabouts in America is he from? Thinking like I'm just stalling, so I'm like, fuck, I need to think of like a voice now. And he's like, from Washington. I'm like, oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, that's a Washington accent.
Okay, Washington accent, bro, I got that. So I just started to do this thing, and they're like, yeah, it works. It was just some kind of creepy voice, I don't know. Yeah. But I think I don't know if they fixed it or not. I think they like forgot to credit me in the movie.
Really?
They never. I don't think in the official credits of the IMDb I'm credited at all.
Damn.
But then again, I saw the review scores and I'm like, maybe.
Officer Greg really put his best on the line for that.
I saw a lot of the reviews where I was like, this movie sucked, but I liked seeing Charlie. But it was a shame because when I spoke to the guys, they were really passionate about it.
Yeah, they really went for it.
They really put their heart in it, and it was a shame because you're like, damn.
It's just one of those things where like you have a vision, but it's just not quite realized.
Yeah.
Except for Officer Greg. Sometimes you just get it right.
Did you watch the whole movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know how I sound in it.
I didn't know it was you, so you sounded pretty good.
All right, okay, good. Yeah, because there was an actor who was actually playing the character.
Right.
But it
wasn't their voice.
He was wearing a mask.
So you basically did like the Darth Vader thing.
So yeah, I was like, it was kind of, yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right. It was kind of like
right.
that. So then I think he was unmasked at one point.
Yeah.
But I didn't have much time. But he got like burned alive, and I remember I ruined my throat having to do those lines.
Right.
Because I did it like 8 takes, and they were like, "Can we have like one more?" And I was like, "I only have one more. If this isn't the take, we don't have any more." Oh God, it's so bad. Oh, God, I don't know if it's good. Maybe I should watch it. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
You should check it out.
I'm
go back and
scared
look
to.
at it.
No,
Have you not watched it yet? Even if it's bad, that's
No,
like, I would hold it as like a
so
badge
scared.
of
It's
honor.
still like half the fun.
I'm
Yeah,
so
right.
scared to.
Do you like watching like shows or like movies that you voice in?
There's times. Okay, there's certain voices and certain voice types and certain character types that I know that I can just like that my voice lends really well to, and that I tend to. Like if it's a cocky asshole, I'm like, okay, I feel like I can do that really well. I know, okay, everyone's gonna say yes because it's like in real life. Okay, thank you. But those type of characters I feel like really comfortable doing. But when it's more like stuff out of my range, I don't really like watching it because I'm like, man, I feel like I just didn't do a good job.
Right. Like you could do better, kind of.
Like I feel like I know I could do better, and I probably should watch it back so I could learn.
Right.
But also if it's something that I'm like, it's a video game or an anime or a TV show that I'm really passionate about, I'll watch it. Like I think it's out by the time this comes out. Like Omega Strikers, I'm really fucking excited to hear what I sound like in that game because I don't know what it's like. I'm so fucking hyped because the game looks good. I haven't even played it because we've been on tour.
Still have to play it, yeah.
Because we've been on tour this whole time. I haven't been able to play it, but all my friends that play it say it's so fun and it's addictive, and I'm like, no, there's finally a game that I voice in that's good. Or like they're not good but popular. Sorry.
Yeah.
So excited for that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That's tangent about me. Sorry. It's about people about you. This is your episode.
It was us, last of the grads.
Dude,
veterans here.
that's crazy. So that's like what, 2 or 3 things now we've both like done things for. All right, nice.
More to
Last of the
come,
grads.
hopefully.
I should watch
Next time
it.
we got to be in a movie together.
Yeah, right.
Like live action.
Where do I watch Last of Grads? Where do I even get it?
I don't know if it's still on the same site that it launched on. I think it went to Triller. Or whatever that was called. Or
okay.
Is it Shudder or Triller?
I think
Triller,
it's Triller. Yeah.
The only thing I know about that is that they sued H3 for
Yeah, I don't know if
boxing
it's
thing.
Triller. Which one's the horror one? Is it Shudder or
Oh,
Triller?
okay. Triller's the box.
Oh, I think it's,
fucking
it
know.
might
I
be
don't-
Shudder.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. 'Cause
Yeah, I can't
my,
remember
my
the
wife
name.
watches a new horror movie every day, and it's always on this fucking.
It's whatever one she's watching.
Yeah. It's the one with all the horror movies on.
That
Yeah.
process really, 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 really made me feel bad for people who make movies that don't do well.
Oh my god, yeah, it's got to be miserable.
I was like, because like these, when we talked to them about it, they were. I'm sure you had the same thing. Like they were really, really passionate on the.
I'm sure they all are. Yeah.
And it's like fuck. Could you imagine putting so much time and effort into something and people are like, it sucks.
The world
Didn't
is
watch
cruel,
it.
man.
It's shit. Oh, funny moist man. You know what I mean? Like, all disagree. It's like, no, I spent time on this. I feel bad. No,
Exam director be like,
no, fuck off. No, there's way more passion to this thing than X. There was no fucking passion in Exxon. Fuck off. This thing had passion, it just wasn't there.
I gotta try and finish Exxon now. Now that
No,
you like brought it back into my mind.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try.
You said you're on episode 2?
I got to like episode 2 or 3. Yeah.
3 is so fucking bad.
Oh
man.
my god.
It's probably because they never thought anyone was going to get to 3.
Yeah.
They just gave up.
It's so
It just
fucking
turns into
bad.
like
First like
fucking
5 minutes of
storyboards.
episode 1, I was ready to shut it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
Man.
it's miserable.
They're just like, they're so lazy, you just hear like other fucking stuff playing in the background when they were recording the audio, like fucking Rick and Morty. They're just like, fucking leave it in. I'm not really recording this shit.
Oh my god.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having
Yeah.
me
It's
on.
been
This was a lot of
awesome.
fun.
Hey, look at all these
Finally.
patrons
Yeah, look
though.
at
look at
all these
these
patrons
guys.
flying by. Who's your favorite patron?
I'm a big fan of Ballpost.
Is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to mention?
Yeah.
No, just thanks for having me on.
Dude, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No
man.
worries.
It's good to finally have
It's
you on,
been a
man.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting us to your complex. This is an amazing space. by the
And I
way.
think you defended your JoJo take.
Yeah. Did I convince anyone? Do you guys think?
you
I
convinced me?
understand.
You convinced me that it is an understandable take.
Okay.
So,
I don't agree.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
I think, I think it's an acceptable take.
Yeah, we'll allow
I'll
it.
agree
We'll
with
allow
that.
it.
Next time I'll make more persuasive arguments. So you're like,
It'll be like a
part 3 and 4
30-minute essay.
suck. Yeah.
So, in the part 1... But no, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
But hey,
Now you guys can stop asking when we're gonna get Charlie on.
Exactly. But yeah, obviously all of the links to Charlie's stuff is in the description below. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, then go over and support our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter. Send us some memes on the subreddit. If you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, that's the end of that. Thanks for coming on, Charlie.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.